And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be
Lies.
episode 245. So I hope you guys had a great day and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we are going to be talking about the Batman, Deadpool, Marvel, and DC comics crossover that was announced yesterday. But I thought to myself, you know what? Usually, we would kind of have the show that me and Professor Savage Dad do at this time, but he is on vacation right now. So, with that being said, when he's on vacation, that means we can start the panel show earlier in the day. And the panel show, as you guys know, is after we have our show. And then, so I was like, you know what? Who will be our guest tonight for have a panel show? That's going to be Shaun, actually. So Shaun Stackhouse is our featured guest tonight. And Labs Comic Fan, as you guys know, me and him do the show on Tuesdays, 4:30, 4 p.m. PST. And he was like, you know what, MSK? I need to pay you reparations. I owe your race. I will be here to provide the white guy that you love. And I was like, yes, sir.
Sounds exactly like something I would say. You have my character down to a T.
So, as you guys know, when the stream was posted, I initially had a MCU topic as well. I got off work like 4 p.m. PST, and I went to the store. And by the time I got home, after all my errands were done, because I didn't want to leave the house after I was done being in town, I was like, you know what? We actually yell at the MCU quite a bit. I was like, this topic can wait for another day. It's actually a pretty good one, actually, and it kind of reveals everything we thought about the MCU post Endgame or whatever. But I have no energy for that. I have energy for this topic only because I want to talk about it really, really badly. So that is essentially it. So in a little bit from now, after we have our typical guy bro conversation, you guys all know and love, we're gonna start talking about some crossovers with Marvel and DC happening in the year of Lord of 2025. Gray actually doesn't really know much about comics, but he was like, MSK, I love you so much, and I want to be here next to you to engulf your wisdom into my brain. Actually.
Again, you know how to speak exactly like all of us. Everything you say sounds so believable. Yeah, those were the words that came out of my mouth. So just because I'm not following modern comics doesn't mean I don't know anything about comics. But
you never told me
good to be here.
Oh, come on. You never told me this at all. You were like, I don't know anything about comics. The comics are for losers. Because you were
usually I try to end whatever conversation we're having as quickly as possible. So why would I expand upon my knowledge?
Good Lord. This is why your paychecks are not as big as Warren's. Because Warren feeds into my ego. He brings me up. You, as a white guy or a Canadian or whatever the hell you are,
bring you back down to reality.
That's true. That's true.
You too will die.
It's so much more fun to lift you up real high, so then that way the falls.
Hey, as Megatron said in Dark of the Moon, where would you be without me, Prime? I'm the Prime around here. I'm the Optimus Prime. You guys are like, we'll call you like the fucking hell. We'll call you Starscreams. We'll call you that. You guys can't be Megatron.
You're not even Amazon Prime, dude.
Oh,
fucking.
Well, they deliver. I mean,
they at least have some purposes.
Just because your bed's made out of Amazon Prime boxes.
Yeah.
Wow. Not true. He started this narrative, and it's literally not true. Labs is like, well, MSK, your bed's made out of fucking Amazon boxes, and it's like, literally
No. It started with whenever me and Savage Dad were talking about when it was me, you, and Savage Dad. Yeah. And then Z was in the chat writing the lore of MSK in the house. And that's when you said, this is what he said. And I quote, I don't sleep on Amazon boxes. I got a shelf. That's what he said. And that's where the shelf and the pulleys came from. It's a system of pulleys and shelves.
It's made out of Little Caesars boxes. Thank you very much. I had Little Caesars just a few days ago, and it was fucking great. What's crazy about what you guys mentioned here is that there was one episode, I think it was like, I don't know, we were in the 180s or something like that, 120s, where like I said this movie brought great dinosaur or something like that. Oh my God. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, actually, imploded. You were reading and you just completely misread Dishonor.
Yes. That was one of my earlier shows. I remember that.
Oh, wow. MSK always brings great dinosaur to the show.
No, We were talking about the great dinosaur, and then someone was talking about dishonor.
Death,
That
death
video,
before
whatever.
dinosaur.
Yeah, and good lord, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't take L's, guys. I promise you.
Oh,
I'm not an L generator.
dinosaur to us.
MSK has a point, though. He does not take L's. He manufactures them. It's quite the business he
I'm
has
not
going.
an L generator. I'm a L denier, actually.
You're
He
an
takes
L
D's.
factory.
No,
Takes lots and lots of D's.
no, I take a lot of V's. I took a lot of Vagisil to create 3 vaginas. Remember the
I
episode
don't.
of South Park?
I don't
Wait,
think that's how
time
that
out,
works.
time
Okay,
I don't
so
think that's how
there's
that
an
works.
episode of South Park.
Did you like draw them with it? Like, how did you create them?
Okay, so there's an episode of South Park where it's a NASCAR one. Remember where Kenny likes NASCAR? So Cartman thought the only way to like NASCAR is if you were poor and dumb. I'm not kidding. It was the premise of the episode. He said you
So
have to be poor and dumb to like NASCAR. So he tried to make himself more dumb, and he started drinking Vagisil. What the fuck?
And that. All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight, everybody?
Oh God. We'll just do intros. Oh my goodness. Oh, we'll start with the light-skinned black man, Lunchbox Warren. How you doing, man? How was your stream on Sunday? Did you manage to get your first stream going back in a while?
Oh no! I was freaking dog tired and I fell asleep, and then woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! I was supposed to stream." So no, we're gonna try for next Sunday. Yeah. Aside from that, everything else is going good.
You sound a little low. You sound fine, but you sound just a little bit lower.
How is this?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Better?
He sounds fine
Yeah.
to me.
So, when is the Adventures of Sig and Joe gonna be featured on Comicsgate Kings? Actually, with the when are you gonna get $10,000 for Sig and Joe?
Hopefully never, because the only way I'm going to end up on there is if they're making fun of me. So I don't want to deal with any of that horse shit. Yeah, that it's never going to end up on there. But I'm hopefully having a website. I just got to figure out how to make one.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. I should have a website too for my wife's OnlyFans. You know, have to promote her obviously. You know,
Well,
as she makes.
wouldn't the site be OnlyFans?
Yeah, women don't really think, as we know. We know women
You
don't.
said
really...
you were the one making it.
Yeah, I'm not the smartest person in the room, as you pretty much.
Oh, so that Shikamaru 200 IQ blibbity flabbity do is nothing.
I do
Who
not
would've
talk in flibbity flobbity do.
Who would have guessed?
Are you saying I talk in flibbity flobbity do?
No,
Oh my
I'm
God.
saying it. I'm saying it because that's all it is. So,
God,
blibbity flabbity do.
do you know what? This man. Oh goodness, how much money are you getting paid here to trash talk me?
I mean, the last check that you sent me written on a piece of old bacon, it bounced and my bank wouldn't accept it.
Piece of
So-
bacon. I love bacon. You bacon me crazy. There we go.
That's a slow walk-off moment for you.
That's a mic drop right there. You just walk off.
Yep.
Gray, how is your life going, man? I know things have been basically hell, but things are gonna get better, man. Don't worry. It can. To be fair, think about it this way, man. It can only go up from here. That's what every character in the movie say. When you're in a cave and you have no food for a few days, and you're surrounded with your best buddy, and it's closing in. You're like, hey, it can only go up from here, buddy. It's gonna get better, man.
What the hell are you blathering about? Things are good, man. We just had Memorial Day on Monday. We had a day off, 4-day week. It's great. Things are good,
Yeah.
man.
Did you make?
What are
me
you
barbecue?
talking about? Things can only get better. I'm here. I don't see how it could get worse.
That's true. That's true. Nothing can get worse when being here because I make everyone around me better. You know, I make them more smarter, more intelligent. I just
More smarter, everyone.
and I push wisdom into them constantly. I'm basically like a modern day philosopher, actually. Like what's the Greek god that start with an A?
We just
Aeropostale or
look
some shit.
smarter by
Wait,
comparison.
did he just say Aeropostale like the shirts?
No,
He
no.
did, in fact.
He just did.
Like the Greek god that was known for like the wisdom and shit. I'm like that, you know. I should probably go.
Were
on
you
Google
thinking
and
of
look this up.
Aristotle by any
I'm pretty sure
chance?
it's Aristotle. Let me just go into Google.
You know that's not a Greek god, right?
Greek god of wisdom. Let me type in. What will AI will give me the answers. You guys will may make fun of me. It's Athena. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and knowledge.
That's a female though.
But I'm not a chick.
You-
But to be fair,
Totally a female.
gods don't have
Maybe
genders.
that's where the Vagisil cravings come from.
To be
Maybe
fair,
It could be.
technically speaking, gods don't have genders, but I can just absorb the wisdom.
Actually, they do. Like the
shit.
Greek and Roman gods.
You're right,
actually
yeah.
Yeah,
they
especially.
did.
Dang it. So what's a male god of wisdom? Me?
No.
Good lord. He makes them feel smarter because he's the dumbest in the room. Thank you, Michael. Good lord. Good God. I am not Athena. I have attributes of Athena. Let's just say that.
Yes, the
The
vagina.
vagina.
And...
No. No. Why was that synced up as you guys were coordinating that in your mind together? I don't like this
Great
Legion of Doom
think
that's
alike.
forming here. Like one day these guys are gonna make their own podcast and they're gonna call it a Legion of Doom against MSK Unlimited. Actually,
So I actually was muted, but I said it at the exact same time as well. I'm just saying, man, it's not hard for anyone.
it's in
to,
the water, man. That's why I think
It's
there's
not
a
in the
bunch of
water.
you know
It's in what
crazy?
you say.
That's why I think there's a bunch of soy boy little bitches out there nowadays who can't do anything for themselves. They grew up drinking tap water. It's in the water. I swear to you.
Dude, I grew up drinking hose water, man. I mean,
Yeah. What are you
That didn't
talking
taste
about,
that
MSK?
bad, honestly.
no, it honestly didn't. You're right there. It didn't
It's
taste
sure
as
not
bad as
tap
that.
water. Tap water is dead. Death.
Yes,
God.
Well, like, depends on where you live.
that's a good point.
That's true. But if you live in Missouri, I wouldn't drink their tap water. You'll die.
No.
That shit is blah. That shit is.
Well, that's where I live.
You live in Missouri.
I live in Kansas City, Missouri, home of the Kansas City
Crazy.
Chiefs.
Oh no, well, or was Missouri or was Mississippi? One of those states has literally the worst
Exactly the
water
same thing.
control.
Dude, they're so close together they could sniff each other.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hey,
That's
I'm
why
just
some
pointing out.
people who live here they call it misery instead of Missouri.
Okay.
hey, they always said the
So-
East Coast was worse. The West Coast is better. Warren knows.
No,
I know
who
it.
said that?
West Coast is better. Better women, better food, better weather. You guys have tornadoes that happen on your side of the
Listen,
country.
I might say that you have better weather, okay? But like there's nothing like living in the mountains, bro. Like I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I can't.
I
even
walk
imagine.
outside and like when I smell the air, it is like air. It's not I don't smell
Okay,
like
there might be
like-
meth heads outside, but it still doesn't smell like crack or meth outside.
Hey,
It smells like
MSK.
air.
You hear there's a fire in the country. Where is it? Where do you think it would be?
Probably in
California.
Generally your coast.
definitely. Okay. We almost at LA was almost burnt to the ground. But to be fair, that's because Gavin
Dude,
Newsom is an
and
idiot.
that was some
That's
God
fact.
orientation there. They were like, fuck this Sodom and Gomorrah place.
I love the part.
You're all done.
You know that big giant canal where all the water is supposed to flow through and go to everyone's places? Gavin Newsom was like, yeah, we filled that up. I made sure it was working. It literally had been barren for like
it was
months.
yeah,
months, not just a
and
week.
also there used to be a great big like river in the middle of California that
Yeah.
the humans were like, we don't need this. Let's just like build
Because they wanted to save
properties
those
here.
fishes. Remember, it was we gotta save those fish. Like fuck the fish. I'm sorry. We gotta live. I'm not trying to die.
Why is that
Like,
always your solution, MSK?
I'm just pointing out the fire hydrants didn't have water. Imagine being
Nope.
a firefighter. You're trying to save people's lives, and your fire hydrants don't have water. Yeah, I'm quitting. I'm not even.
Man,
I'm leaving.
Dude, I'm still waiting for a number of people to get fired over that last incident, and only a couple of people have.
That wasn't even
only-
the worst thing. Remember, it was like lesbian. She said,
of course
that-
it was.
no,
Of
she
course.
said one of the most L things I've ever heard.
She was a
said
chief,
if a-
right?
No, it was the second person. It was the,
No,
it was
she was
the
the mayor.
It was or was
They're
it the
all
mayor or
lesbians.
it was the black lesbian lady on the fire force or whatever they call it, where
Okay.
she
The
literally
Fire
said
Force, everybody.
she said that if a grown because people asked her, how would you carry a grown man out of the burning building since you're a woman and you're a little bit weaker?
I
And she
heard
s-
that.
Remember? And she said, well, if he got himself into that situation, that's his problem.
Yes.
Remember
oh my
that?
God.
Oh my god. Actually,
That's the first
so
responders
usually
we
if,
need,
like,
right?
If a
Yeah.
fire happens where I live, there's usually some old guy standing outside with like a giant joint, and he's like, "Eh, fire's happening over here." And that's about it.
could
I
you
wonder if
imagine
she
that?
still has a job. Like
I would hope
That's
not.
true too. I've seen it happen.
Oh, it's L.A. She probably has a job.
Yeah, I was just gonna say in LA she probably has a job.
The
because
mayor
people are
shows
like,
up to those Looney Tune rallies to
Yeah.
get
I
fucked
mean,
in the
you
ass
got to
or
think about
something.
it. Like, you got to think from the outside perspective of what
Yeah.
people think California, especially LA, is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a completely different world over there. I remember whenever I made it there, like, I think I was about 16. And
Yeah.
I was on my homeless adventures across the United States, and I made it to California. And I tell this story all the time. This is like, so I like was living in the Pittsburgh area. So, like, you know, pretty not it's definitely a blue city, but it's still a conservative in their morals, you know, stuff like that. You wouldn't see certain things. I'm walking and I turn the corner, right? And it's early in the morning. It is early. And there's all these kids like running, I guess, to school or whatever they're doing. And I'm like soaking in everything, just looking around like, holy crap, this is so different. Coming around the corner is a truck, right? A big, like, semi truck. And the back was it had like a clear glass, you know, trailer on it. And inside that were two strippers dancing on a pole, and it was a mobile, like, stripping truck, right? And it just went right by me. None of the children looked up and was like, oh, titties. Like, none. That's how desensitized these kids were. I was like 16. I was like, so that's what I think, like, of people in California. Like, completely wackadoo nutcases.
hey man, everything I know about LA I learned from the Lethal Weapon franchise.
Also based.
I love Loaded Weapon. Whenever
Yes. Loaded
whenever
Weapon 1.
Samuel
Yeah.
Jackson, he's talking to the chief after his partner gets killed. It's Whoopi Goldberg. He's like, Chief, I gotta find out who killed my partner. And he looks up and he's like, you don't think it was the bullets?
or the scene where William Shatner like sticks his face in the fish tank and
Loaded Weapon.
oh man, that was great. I need to see that again.
All right. So, next person is our featured guest of the night, Shaun Stackhouse. How's your day, man? How's it been going?
Well, I've had the flu for the past few days, and last night I fell out of bed and bummed my hip. So, yep, that's how my week has been going.
You got any good news?
No.
God, holy shit. Do you need me to get you a girl to come over there and bounce on your crotch for a few hours?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed.
Good Lord. That requires me having money too. That's the problem.
I heard MSK has an exorbitant collection of wigs.
Oh, never mind then. I need you to cancel that order right now.
Oh God. You know, man, how's the strip clubs out there in your city?
Kind of like there are a couple high-end ones, but they're very far and few between. Like I would not recommend going inside and touching it. Don't even touch the bar. Like, don't sit down. You're gonna get something.
We're talking like bad, like this is what, like you go in there, you get like $20 for a dance. Oh God.
You're gonna get hepatitis.
So to put in perspective, our downtown Kansas City is a lot like like the bad neighborhoods in Los Angeles and New York now, and Chicago.
Yeah, I've heard Kansas City is bad.
Yeah, like south of the river, Kansas City, it's no picnic at all.
It sucks.
Yeah, and it's all coming north now. Move north, so everybody's having to move north.
I'm glad I got out of those type of neighborhoods.
Well,
yeah, man, I want to like wake up every morning, walk outside, and breathe mountain air. That'd be awesome.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, whenever I walk outside, the air is great. It's not destroyed with, smoking and meth and crack.
Smog and
God,
Hobo
terrible
piss.
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
homeless
Hobo
people.
piss.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
When's the-
People don't call them hobos anymore. They just call them homeless people. They don't
When's the
even say
last
word
time you
hobo.
actually saw the sky, not just some sort of haze?
Okay, I can see the sky typically, but if there is fires in like San Diego or LA, it does make the sky look orange. That does happen. It's bad sometimes, and you choke on your own spit. But this is a great place to live. We have great healthcare. We have a great government. We have a great governor. Great women.
I'm going to stop you there. Just going to stop
Lies.
you there.
You know, our state doesn't have the highest cost of living.
Yeah, right.
You know, I choose to live in bizarro world. Everything's reversed. Honestly, you know, even when I look at reality, I see myself as rich, hot, and good looking in that
Mhm.
universe. But in this universe, I'm still the same. Honestly,
Sure,
I'm like,
sure.
man, wow, you guys are not getting my
Wait.
jokes tonight. They'll land eventually.
You're
I mean-
suffering so that Bizarro MSK can flourish?
Essentially,
very noble
I'm
of you.
crawling so he can walk. Essentially,
That's usually not how it works.
Yeah, the Bizarro land's supposed to be like the worst version.
Yeah.
shit.
You are the Bizarro land.
MSK, you
Somewhere
need to read
there's
more
an
comics,
MSK
man.
pounding
No,
on the inside
I
of the
remember-
television. Let me out.
You're like it was the episode of Superman and Lois. They were like season 2, and they went to that Bizarro world. And they're doing that Bizarro world arc, whatever. Like some of the best shit they've ever did in that show. It was the fact that
Yeah.
like the son turned out to be some like emo fucking sissy boy. He just went into like a cult. Like what the fuck? How'd that
he
even
was
happen?
He was that kid from Agatha all along.
Uh-huh.
God.
But the scene between Superman and Parasite, like up in the sky, and he like took a nap in the sun, basically. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. Laughs comic fan. What's up, man? How you doing? How was your day? You work
Good.
a lot.
Good day. Yeah, a little bit. Stayed a little bit late, but I still got to the comic book shop, so I was happy.
What time does it close? Close at like 8 o'clock.
Like 8, 9 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. Man. Oh,
I think they were open late today because when I went in there, they were playing something in the back. There was like 100 people back there.
Do you guys have because you said at your shop you have like a bunch of the other TCGs? If people are in there playing Magic and Pokemon, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they have that one big table in the middle where it's like all interactive, where they like scan their cards in and then they appear on the table. It's almost like Apple Glass, like you know what I mean? Like it appears there. So it's because they don't want to ruin their cards or whatever. I don't know, but I watch all these people just scanning cards, doop, 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 and they get into it, man. They're like, "Fucking take this, Pikachu."
Hey, playing Pokemon is easy. Hey, a 5-year-old kid can learn how to play Pokemon. I think playing Pokemon's fun, honestly.
I have no problem with the card, like those card games or tabletop games. The ones I get interested in is like when they do Robotech or they have like a big D&D party, because like the main guy that's there, he actually has like, they look like, you know, like those old-fashioned train sets that have like landscapes and all that stuff. They actually have some of that stuff that they bring out and put on the giant table, and like all their characters are on there. It looks cool as hell.
You got my bag of dice right here.
There you go. So they usually have some person presenting as the dungeon master or whatever, because you'll see on the sign, this person is master this month or whatever.
Have you ever played D&D on D&D Beyond online?
No.
So I've been doing that with some friends like every other Saturday, and it's actually a lot of fun. You don't have to pay anything, you know, it's just you can play with people all around the world, so it kind of enhances.
The biggest thing I got into is Axis and Allies. Like I did a lot of that with you know, because you could play with the 5 to 6, and then if you have like a good coordinator, that's you don't have to keep track of everything, which does help, because let's face it, you know, usually back then I was like 16 beers in, so you know, wasn't really thinking all that straight.
Yeah, I
but
hear that.
yeah, I mean, I had a good day today, man. I spent a lot of money, and that's always a good day for me.
Yeah. Hey, no black person in the hoods can say that in Section 8 housing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't compare myself to that, so I mean, I don't know where that comes from. But my son, my youngest, we took him with us, and inside the mall where the comic shop is, they have this like interactive arcade place that has like all these old arcade machines like Pac-Man and like Galaga and Defender and all this stuff. So he goes in there and plays all those games, and he had a good
That's good.
time.
Glad he had a good time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
As you guys know, for myself, I just have to buy my comic book pull list this week when I get paid, and then I just get whatever's coming out
the
today.
mythical pull list. I love when he talks about this pull list, dude. This delivery company, whatever he gets it from, they suck. It took them like 2 months for him to get Absolute Batman #7.
Hey, I'm just saying, whatever
Dude,
came out today, I have to get it on Friday. So.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, MSK, just subscribe to the DC Infinite app, man. I mean, if you pay the if you do the $12.99 a month, you get like current releases right away.
But that's digital.
Yeah.
But that's for like weirdos and nerds.
But it takes up less space.
I'm gonna get more shelves, man. I'm gonna be the king of collected edition.
I don't know if you've seen the MSK. All he has is space back there. He doesn't have a bed. He doesn't have a couch.
Yeah. The couch is in the other part of the house. You son of a bitch! It's in my other part of my house.
I have never seen a couch.
That cardboard box back there looks like a TV's probably his pillow.
I mean, the outhouse does take up, some walking space. So we need to get you some of those like stick in the ground lights.
Oh my God. There's another part of the house, as you guys know, with a fridge and a bathroom and a living room and a kitchen. And there's a couch in there. I don't really like, I'll be honest here, I don't like the couch that much. I might actually get a new one. I'm not really feeling that couch. I have to get a new one eventually,
But you filmed so many videos on there.
Yeah, what? Porn? What do you mean, like casting couch videos with my crusty socks?
Wow.
Hey, whatever.
Hey, if you got crusty socks, you ain't doing it right. Just saying.
Dude, that's a lot of Amazon orders to make that futon, bro. You better step up your game and get some Omnis.
Good Lord, man. Omnis would be too hard to lay on. I gotta get more compendiums. Those are fluffier.
No, I mean for the box that they.
Shit! God damn it.
MSK, I posted the link for DC Universe Infinite in the private chat. It gives you a 7-day free trial, so you can at least check it out.
I definitely would do that if I didn't have the space. I would do that.
Yeah.
But 3 of my children have moved out of the house, so
I
got 2 fucking rooms full of comics and this whole thing behind me.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm good. I'm good on that. But I definitely would if they like. Sometimes I don't feel like going. Driving to. That's one bad thing about living up here. Is like I got to drive like 45 minutes to go to the comic book store.
Same here.
Sure.
If I need to go out to a shop or whatever, I have to drive out. It's stupid. I wish we had a comic book shop here. I wish we did, but we don't because our city is poor and trash and disgustingly awful. That's.
So I go like once a week. I go out there and. Grab
I remember. That's what the DC Universe Infinite app, where it's a digital comic app. They were celebrating like Superman's best one shots, and then they had tied it to that Justice League Unlimited episode where it's like Mongol and he throws out those stars and like Superman's in this trance.
No. He didn't throw out stars. It's a story written by Alan Moore called What Do You Get for the Man Who Has Everything?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a plant from I can't remember the sector. But
I've read that
over and you get into a dreamland, and that's when Bruce gives him $500.
Yeah.
I'm saying that was literally one of the best episodes they have ever did in that show. That was amazing.
Well, it's a great one shot. Like, and that's cool that they made that was actually, like you said, it was perfect for making a single episode. It was actually worked perfectly. And I always wondered why they didn't do more of that, especially for just like the Superman show. Because like I still, even though it's not as good as Batman, I still love it. I'll buy I buy every release that comes out, like the Blu-ray and
we should have gotten a Wonder Woman show too.
Well, Yeah, and if it was as good as the first Wonder Woman animated movie, that would have been great because that
Yeah.
animated movie is
Animated Wonder Woman was
fucking
really good.
awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't like
Yep.
the second one as much. Not saying it was bad, but that first one was fucking awesome.
That first
Was
one
the
hit.
second one
Yeah.
Bloodlines or
Bloodlines, yeah.
Oh
that
yeah,
was-
yeah.
I never saw that. I never saw that one, but
It's
I did see the
okay.
first
It's
one.
not like horrible or anything. It's just nowhere near as good as that first one is.
Like for me, I remember because I watched that animated movie basically after watching the live action version,
Mhm.
and then I was like, "Damn, this Hades or this not Hades, fucking hell, the villain they have in the first Wonder Woman movie, fucking
Was it
hell,
Ares?
It was
Ares.
Ares. That Ares in that animated movie, that's Ares. That
Yeah.
guy's fucking
Yeah.
shit up. We had porn mustache Ares in
Yep.
our Wonder Woman movie.
The third
Oh,
act
God.
of the first movie was kind of messy.
Yeah, it's really good up until the third act. I get the emotional element it has. The emotional element hits with Steve Trevor and everything. I think what really hurts the movie is that Ares reveal. If the Ares reveal was stronger, the third act is stronger. Because
Yep.
it's like, Diana, I've watched you and I could have killed you. Well, why didn't you do it then? He knew
Well,
she was there to take him out. He's like, what
I
the
think
fuck?
I think the trope of like guy in suit
Yeah.
being the devil or the thing is so overplayed. It's like non-threatening. Like it's like if you reveal that, it's like okay, and you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is, and I like the first Wonder Woman movie. I think
Yeah, me
it's-
too.
I
It's
think
just
good.
like, yeah.
But yeah, I just the reveals of those things. I just kind of like. I would much rather have like as bad as Steppenwolf was, right?
Mhm,
And he was
yeah.
nothing like the comic book counterpart. And
Oh,
they
God,
wanted
no.
their big monster person. They wanted it,
Yeah.
right? Even though, like, I don't understand with Zack Snyder. If you're gonna do it, just do Darkseid. That was like in your extended edition or Snyder cut. He was fantastic. Darkseid was great. Like, just do that. You know, you could have played it from the young Yuxas era, or not, yeah, Yuxas, and then to Darkseid. You know, you could have played it that way, and it would have been fine. But I don't know. I hate that reveal, man. Either just be a big badass.
Well, it's the
monster
dialogue after
from the
that too,
beginning,
remember?
and well, the dialogue was but that's
Yeah.
kind of my point though. Once that reveal happens, right? What do you say in the movie or any movie after that? Because that character usually they underplay them so much throughout the movie that it's supposed to be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. Oh man, and then you're just
Yeah.
like, you don't take it seriously. At least I do.
The reason why the animated movie that you're talking about before, the live action one we were going over, works better is because they establish Ares at the very beginning.
Right from
This
the
guy
beginning.
is strong.
Right.
And the Wonder Woman movie is playing up this mystery like, oh, Ares is this is god of war and he's going to cause all these problems. But when you get to the reveal, he said that line that I told you guys about that essentially just kills the third act. It's like, you knew she was here to do this to you and you said you could have killed her before.
Right. Yeah, it's stupid.
Then why did you do it then? It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, that's why
I
you
don't
said
like
those
that.
reveals always, you know.
Yeah, I don't like
God.
that whole thing where it's like,
I could have killed you.
I could have killed you
one.
this whole time, but now I'm not. I didn't because now I'm not going to be able to.
That's
So I
plot
picked
armor
a
to
very
the
good
max.
time to do it.
This is why you guys, because keep in mind, people are gonna be like, isn't that just what anime does a lot? Yeah, no one likes plot armor in anime. It's not a like thing at all, really, honestly. It's always debated about if that ever really should be a thing. Like, that's just plot armor. She just kind of just got to live because the main villain knew she was there and was like, he could beat her. Like, what the?
Yeah, it was pretty weak.
Yeah, it's only if the Ares reveal was way stronger, the third act would have been even better, you know.
Yep.
But god damn, So yesterday when I was seeing that post from the DC's Twitter account for that Unlimited episode, I was like, damn, yeah, that show really did hit. You know, there's some people out there now that are rewatching it, trying to see if it's as better, is it as good as you remember, kind of thing. It's like, I tell people this. I don't always want to go back and rewatch stuff to see if it's as good as I remember. I could just go back and just enjoy it and watch it because I just enjoyed it. You know?
The thing is like what is it? Why does it have to be as good as you remember? If you enjoy it, who gives a shit?
I mean,
well, for
you
me,
know.
that's the gold standard. Like that, I will put that shared universe up against the MCU, the DCEU, any shared universe.
Yeah.
And I think it would compete equally. I think that's the gold standard for DC. I think if they would play a little bit more into the original DC animated universe, starting with Batman, Taz, through Justice League Unlimited, I think that things would be a little more cohesive because most people like that stuff.
You know,
Yeah.
it's so crazy that those weird cringy Snyder bros were like, no, you just had to get to this point and this point and this point. It's like, but even the stuff that you liked took time to build up. Like it wasn't in a day they built Batman the Animated Series or Superman the Animated Series or Batman Beyond or Justice League. They didn't build that stuff in a
Right.
day. It was a long effort to get to that point, and then you got the payoff
Yep.
with the Justice League Unlimited cartoon.
But they were also taking chances back then. They were breaking new ground. Like
Yeah, that's true.
when you're not doing anything new, you're already behind. As far as you can be anyway.
Mhm.
Like you're not
Like for
doing anything
instance,
different.
would
So
anybody at Warner Brothers take a chance on the Zeta project in 2025? No.
No. Yeah. No.
yeah, but that's thinking that even if Warner Brothers, they're one of the worst managed movie companies out there.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
make some of the worst decisions, even with some of their old stuff, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Even with some of their old stuff, it's like it's
Or even
ridiculous.
just when they have their interviews with executives and you hear what they say, it's like, are you a human being? Like I don't
Right.
even know what is the Ezra Miller one, the Flash one really
Oh.
threw me off. Remember that original interview with that one Warner Bros. Executive where he's talking about the CW and the DC universe, and he's like, they're talking about confusing the audience, whatever. It's like, but if you have a Flash in this universe and a Flash over here, it's like, wouldn't that not confuse people? He literally said, I don't think people would mind it. And it's like, but they had claimed the big problem with their brand was there's too many different versions and people can't follow them. And it's like, I don't even know. It was so many
It's
jumbled
because
messes.
the normies don't understand the multiverse, and
Yeah.
so when you try to put the multiverse in a movie for normies, it fails. We saw it happen with Marvel with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and we saw it fail with the Flash.
Yeah. Oh, and you know, you were talking about earlier about the DC animated shared universe, putting that up
Mhm.
against the DCEU. To be honest, was that DCEU ever in competition with anything but themselves to fail? That's the thing. Is that
Oh yeah.
you look back on it, like my favorite movies from that universe was Shazam, the first one. The second one is not good. The James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, Wonder Woman's there, and then Aquaman. Those are like my only four I really, really enjoyed.
And
by
how about
really
Aquaman being the only one to make $1 billion?
the guy that talked to fish made
What's
$1 billion
up with that?
over a Batman Superman team up movie or whatever you want to call that. A
Yeah.
Superman movie. The Suicide Squad movie had some of the biggest villains ever, like Joker and Harley Quinn and Killer Croc and Deadshot.
That
We had-
actually made like 8 something, I think, or maybe
Yeah,
9
yeah.
something, but it made money. But it was one of the last ones it did.
Yeah, it's crazy because that movie got the benefit of being released at the right time when the superhero hype was in, so it got a chance to make a lot of money. And it's like that movie is, I can't rewatch that movie. That movie is awful. That movie is bad. Like he's like, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? Fucking hell, man! Jesus
Mhm.
Christ, we didn't know how bad it was gonna get, and it got worse. You know, like,
I like James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie a lot better.
it was really good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. Lunchbox Warren, what happened to you? Are you alive?
Yes, I'm alive, but someone was vacuuming, so I had to.
Oh, you're good. You're good. My wife was vacuuming in here too. Wait a minute. Didn't happen.
And the sounds of silence.
Gray, are you alive? I think Gray's. He left me. Gray literally left us, guys. All right, so we're gonna start the topic here
was
in
never
just
with
a
you.
moment.
Just saying.
Oh, goodness gracious, Gray, I know you
Yay.
watched a movie this past weekend. Which one did you watch? You watched Lilo and Stitch.
That's the one.
You watched Lilo and I always called him Lilo and Bitch.
What can I
Isn't
say?
Stitch just her bitch?
Well,
Wow.
much
I'm
the
just
opposite
saying.
way, I would say.
Golly, man.
Yeah, I ended up seeing it. It's one of my wife's favorites. I don't know.
Of the
It
whole
was
year?
okay.
Crazy.
No, like Disney ones or
Okay.
whatever. But I don't know. So I came to it very late, so I don't have that kind of love for it or whatever. But I gotta say, out of all the Disney remakes that I actually had to watch, which is damn near all of them now,
Yeah,
I don't know. I hated this one the least. I think that's not saying it's great. It's like all the other ones. They change it. It's like taking something magical and removing the magicness or
Yeah, the
whatever.
magic-
Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. The magic is just not there in their fucking live action remake. So I'll ask you this. for me in the animated movie of Lilo and Stitch, I'm pretty sure I watched it growing up. I didn't really care for it. I know there was the cartoon that happened after the movie or whatever. Would you say the people's criticisms of Lilo and Stitch on Twitter or like other social media places is somewhat warranted?
A lot of it seems kind of overblown. Like people are saying like it diverts the message. I guess you could interpret it that way, but I think that's being really uncharitable. In a way, it still is the same Ohana message, but you get to kind of choose. And this way, like a 19-year-old doesn't necessarily sacrifice their entire life to become a mother, but
Hey,
still, a lot of those messages are there.
Nick Weiser. I got a chance to meet Nick Weiser at the meetup. He was for sure a white guy.
Oh, hell yeah.
I can tell you that. You know, he was like, MSK,
So you were interested?
No. Nick Weiser told me that I was the hottest, richest white guy that he had ever met in his entire life. No,
Kind of doubt it, but okay. But yeah, I can understand why people are pissed off that it's changed. It's definitely changed. They made a whole bunch of changes in it.
Oh,
So,
did you
yeah,
miss?
if you like that original thing, it's not that.
Because I know you're on Twitter too. So remember, it was announced they weren't going to have the big main villain from the original animated movie. Did you
He's not
miss
a
that
huge
character?
part of it.
Did you
No,
miss
so
him in
the
the
one
live-action
thing-
movie?
Not at all.
Okay.
So he's kind of not that big of a character. He comes up a couple times, and then there's like this kind of big starship battle. But if you remember, well, I don't know if you would remember back in 2001 when it was supposed to be released, it was originally a plane and it was like slamming into buildings. So they already edited that scene very heavily before they released it. And then it became a spaceship hitting these like sand dunes kind of. So I don't know. It's got a rich history of like editing it for modern audiences. So it kind of seems like they're doing that. They also had the thing where they did that with the washing machine before, changed it into like this weird cat or the dryer that she hides in. Apparently that's too unsafe for children. So they changed it into like some sort of cabinet and a pizza box at one point. So I don't know. They always kind of updated it for it, but yeah. So they took that guy out. I think a big part of it is the budget's only $100 million. It
You would
is
think it'd
going
be
to be a
enough for
billion-dollar
that.
movie.
You would think
Sort
it's
of.
enough.
So a lot of
Yeah.
the changes that they made were to not require as much CG. So that whole thing would be like a huge CG thing. I don't know how you'd do the giant shark character without CG, since the other aliens are CG. So I'm assuming it's just to save money. And there's kind of a more expedient way you can kind of get the same thing to happen. So they did it.
I'll just
I don't
say,
know. I'm not
is he
super hooked on the big
teased
one.
in the post-credit scene? Because you think like, okay, he's not in the first movie, then he'd be teased in the post-credit scene or the end-credit scene.
Not really, because so
Wow,
what?
really?
So
Crazy.
Lilo and Stitch was always cash grab. So there are like 4 additional movies, and then there's a show, and all of it is all the different versions of Stitch or whatever. Like he's 6'4" something. There's like 670 versions of him out there or something. So you find a different version each episode of the show. So I don't know. It was always like he was the original Grogu, if you will. But yeah,
I never thought of it that way. Yeah, he is kind of the original like small little baby mascot that a bunch of women just loved.
So in a way, the guy that they make the main villain was the main villain of the TV show. So it kind of makes sense, but they make some big changes. If you were really stuck on the original, it's not that.
So if you just could give a rating of it from your general observation, what would you give it?
It actually entertained me, so I don't know, 6.5 maybe. But
6.5.
that's
Would
just
you recommend someone goes to the theater and watch it, or wait for it to hit Disney Plus for streaming?
if you got kids, you're probably already going with them. But
That's true.
yeah, if not, you can wait.
You can just wait. Okay. Wow.
I'm not a huge fan of it. All I can say is it didn't annoy me as much as most of the other remakes.
So, oh God. So your bar was basically like my expectations were low, but holy fuck. So don't go lower than those, and it just kind of hit it just right. Good.
I'm just saying, like the ones that actually meant something to me, it doesn't feel like they did good versions of it. Like Lion King was really not fun, and that's one that actually meant something to me.
Oh God.
Aladdin actually meant something to me. Little Mermaid
Did
did,
Mulan
and none of
influence
those
you?
felt like. I didn't really care about Mulan. I got to be honest. So I don't know, and that remake seems like the worst of all of them that I've watched. But, yeah, fair
I
enough.
couldn't stand the Lion King. That was so bad. It was like
Yeah.
Yeah,
no emotion on those things, and it's like I just don't understand what is the point of making the animated movies into like
This is what I've always
sort
said
of real
too.
life.
I
What is the
think it's
point?
just
Like, I don't
ego.
understand.
It's twofold.
has-
So first
yeah.
you retain the rights. So you've
Mhm.
got Disney's story again. So then you get, what is the copyright? I can't remember, like 100 years or something like that on it.
What did you do to
Uh,
her, Gray? Why don't she trust you?
Common sense.
And she's a woman, so her opinions are. Just kidding.
So not only do you retain the rights, but there's a bunch of these kids that'll never see those old ones, and they don't get paid any money for anything that's on like streaming or whatever.
You just think
They
like,
don't do those like from the vault collection anymore. Like that used to be how they make money off the old films, but
but I just every time they re-release like the regular Lion King in the theater, it always does well. Like so, it's like if they
Yeah,
did like a full nationwide release again, it would do so well.
I think so. Even like Coraline last year was,
Yeah.
I think it was like number 3 for a long time in the charts. So.
Yeah, so it's
I don't know, man.
I know what you
wish
mean.
They would have done that instead.
I look at it as like when they did the Star Wars special edition, right? Yeah, I
Mhm.
didn't care for a lot of the the stuff that they did, but the fact that I was able to go see, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi on the big screen was huge for me. You know what I mean? Because I grew up. I was a little bit I was old enough, but like that wasn't something that we did at the time. So
Yeah.
it was like I actually got to go see those in my young adulthood when they re-released. So I thought that was like amazing.
For
I
sure.
always just think it's ego sometimes. Like they think they can do better than the
Probably.
animated classics that everyone knows and loves. So they think like, damn, animated stuff is for fucking little kids. Let's make it live action because that's for adults. I swear, if people actually think about it, the way that animated stuff is talked about, you would generally think that's the worst thing ever made by the way people speak about it. They generally think animated just means for kids.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like
that's-
I've never thought of it that way. If a movie's animated or live action, I just think, hey, it's a movie. Let's just judge it off what it's offering. I don't care what format it's in.
Well, I mean,
I think that's a more antiquated opinion. I think that's going by the way of the
right.
dodo.
Yeah.
By the time the next
I have a
generation gets in
200
there, I
IQ,
think-
and I'm obviously smarter than all of you
Well,
guys.
when
but
you have
Nobody said
Miyazaki
that.
movies, charting and going into the theater and making their way over here, like in the early 2000s, that was like to me, like because I got to see at one of the local theaters they did Howl's Floating Castle, so I got to see
Oh, hell yeah.
that on the
hell
big
yeah.
screen. I got to see like My Neighbor Totoro, and like I've seen Akira on the big screen, so it was cool, like. And there was like this one place, it's called the Rex. It's in downtown or in the south side of Pittsburgh. And that's like a hipster doofus area, but they do have some really cool nights there. Since like, the Night of the Living Dead, if you're into that type of thing,
hell yeah.
obviously that's a huge thing for Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah.
and they had like, they did one, what was it? Day of the Dead in the mall. That was in Monroeville Mall in the Pittsburgh area. They actually did the movie in the mall on a screen, and then they had like Tom Savini and George Romero do like the tour where they shot and like so they do like that type of stuff. I'm cool. Like I like that type of thing. And
Yeah.
I'd look at if they re-release like some of the original stuff, I would just like to see what it would do in a non-limited release. Because all you'd have to
Yeah,
do
hear what you're saying.
is
But $1 billion. This thing is going to
No,
make over $1 billion.
no the Lilo and
As
Stitch.
awesome
is what
as
you're talking
seeing-
about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
no,
as
that I
awesome as seeing
understand.
like Savini and Ramiro in the Monroeville Mall. Like that would be so cool. Guarantee it's not $1 billion. Though.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is, if they put like the original Lion King back out, and instead of it being a limited release, be a nationwide release, and all you'd have to do is basically pay for advertising. The movie's already done. I'm saying I would like to see what that does.
Me too.
Not the Ramiro thing. That's just a
Yeah.
a
No, it's a
Pittsburgh
fun
thing.
experience.
That's just
It's-
a Pittsburgh
I think
thing.
that's. Well, I think that's kind of what a lot of these are turning into. I know, like, what's his name? Kevin Smith is doing a lot of tours with his movies and stuff. He's inspired a lot of other kind of smaller filmmakers to kind of do the same thing. I know there's a lot of horror movies that are kind of doing that, where it's kind of like a moving tour, and then you get like a little Q&A with the makers of it afterwards. That sounds kind of awesome, but I think this is a different thing. This is that corporate thing where
Correct. And that's I shouldn't have said it that way. I wasn't comparing the two. I was just saying that's kind of what I like as compared to a remake of something, especially when it's animated. Like if you put out Beauty and the Beast, right? The original animated Beauty and the Beast around Christmas time, and you started advertising in October, that thing's going to make a shit ton of money. It's going to make a shit ton of money. All the people that saw it originally and now that have children, they're going to go see it. You don't have to, take some actress who can't sing and then do a CGI beast. Like you're going to get the same result. I almost think you are. Lilo and Stitch, I know nothing about, so I can't even say anything about it. That was something I never watched. So I don't
100% cash grab. Just maybe it's because I'm a little bit more distant from that one than I am some of the other ones. I hated it less than a lot of the other remakes, but yeah, all of them are just for money. But if I had to put money on one thing to be like the top one of the summer, I think it's this one, man.
I mean, it makes sense.
I think the first movie to make $1 billion is either this one. I mean, it would have to have opened to like 300 something for it to even get close to that. At least
it depends on how long it stays in there too.
Yeah, I think Jurassic Park 7 is the one that hits $1 billion first. There's if that doesn't make $1 billion, then something's wrong with Hollywood or something. Because if that's not doing numbers, then
I don't think it's going to.
You don't think so?
It just doesn't.
Kids love their dinosaurs, man. Don't underestimate 6-year-olds.
You're right, but it just doesn't look different enough.
That's the thing, though. It's Jurassic Park. That shit always makes money, even when it looks terrible.
It looks. Yeah. It made money on Jurassic Park 3, and that one was awful.
Yeah, but I mean, that was
Jurassic
also
Park worlds were there's just god awful, and they made tons, but they just backed the Brinks truck.
Yeah, kids just love dinosaurs.
I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it'll do that because I that's another franchise I don't know enough about.
I've seen all of them.
I've read the Michael.
Oh, so have I.
So I don't know about.
I didn't read novels because reading is for losers. But that's just not.
These losers that you keep talking about, dude, they seem like the best people. Like so, I am not going to be offended at what you call a loser.
Well, good, because that means you're not a liberal. There you go. We found out who we voted for. God damn it, man.
What? I voted for Mr. T.
I voted for Harambe, if you guys remember.
No, I vote for Mr. T every election.
All right, so let's get into our topic tonight. Let's have some fun. You guys ready for some quality conversation?
Sure.
Oh, you're gonna leave?
Some
wow. Wow. Holy fucking shit. You guys are a bunch of clout chasers.
Are you ready for Axis there, MSK?
Is it Tuesday?
See, he has no idea what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, Shaun Stackhouse and Lunchbox Warren.
See, Warren understands me. Warren literally breathes life into me. See? Fist bump.
There we go.
There we go. Damn, no, this one. Fuck. Camera to reverse. Sons of bitches. All right. I just randomly joined, but I know it's a classic MSKL. Never. I'm actually a W generator at this point. All right, let's go. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Batman Deadpool Marvel and DC Comics crossover that was announced. So for those of you guys that aren't into the comic book world, Marvel and DC Comics used to do a lot of crossovers back in the day. You had a lot of famous ones, Superman, Spider-Man, the Godzilla crossovers. You had the legendary one of Marvel versus DC, Batman versus Captain America, fucking, what was it, Thor versus Wonder Woman, Silver Surfer versus Green Lantern. You had Dark Claw and all that shit. So after all those
Axel Asher.
Good Lord, man. Dude. Good grace. You are a white guy for a reason.
You can't have anything without access. It can't exist.
True. I agree. And I had access to my wife's butthole last night. Joking. So after those crossovers you guys all remember and love, actually, they did one more in 2003 from what I remember. It was like JLA, Avengers, something like that, right? And then after that, they had no crossovers ever since then. And then last year in 2024, it was announced that they were going to be doing, some omnibus crossovers, basically having collected editions for their crossovers. So they released one of the original crossovers that they did, and then they did basically another one for the Amalgam Age, as you guys all remember that. So that was essentially the first crossover they had in like 20 something years. So
Mhm.
people have basically said, hey, if they're crossing over, does that mean that comic books are in a bad spot? I would say this: two things can be true. I think it's good if they cross over, but that doesn't also mean that things are also great either. It's a never ending kind of conversation.
Well,
You have it with people.
Well, the problem with it is we live in that world where whenever just what we were just talking about, like
Yeah.
what Gray was saying, cash grab. We live in a time where anything that's not within the norm is considered, oh, something must be awful. That's why you're doing what you're doing. But I mean, they planted the seeds in 2021 when they still confirmed that the Amalgam universe still exists.
I
So,
remember that. Mhm.
and I keep bringing it up, but if they don't have access there, I'm done. I want Axel back.
But there is more to the story, actually. So there was a video. There was a video that me and Lunchbox Warren did. It came out a while ago on my comic book YouTube channel, the one you guys are watching this video on, because you guys should subscribe if you haven't yet, because I'm producing some quality over here. Joking. So basically, it was announced that they were going to actually do a physical crossover that was not the omnibus crossover they had in 2024, where basically, long story short, Marvel gets their turn, then DC gets their turn. Marvel gets to pick whoever they want to write their story. DC gets to pick whoever want to write their story. And we were brainstorming, like, this is a crossover that means a lot. It's been a while since they crossover. You should pick really good people. It shouldn't be debatable. Best people on the crossover. This really could bring some people back that maybe haven't been reading comics for a while. And one of the writers Marvel announced for their turn is Zeb Wells, a guy that recently wrote probably one of the worst Spider-Man runs, debatably for a lot of people. Now, I will say this. I read the first trade paperback for it. I didn't think it was all that bad, but the actual Peter Parker stuff he was doing with the slice of life stuff that tied into that dude Paul was terrible.
You're comparing
actually awful.
6 issues to like 70.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it gets much better from where I read. I couldn't imagine.
I'm saying. Like, you got to think like the best stuff they're gonna put out right away to like grab that new reader. It was not that. Look, it was not that good. Okay, it's Zeb Wells. If you've read one Zeb Wells, you've read all Zeb Wells. Just put it that way. And
like, if people don't remember,
think I look at it as if they could for 1 minute, right, cut bureaucracy and say, okay, we're gonna have an event like we've never done before, and have you would have to have the access character, you would, because that's how the regular universes cross over. And if they were competing to one goal, that would be great, right? That would be fantastic. And I think it would be neat if that could happen, to where Marvel wrote their side, DC wrote their side, and then they did an actual crossover where guys, actually got together and actually did something, and maybe finished like 2 books. So maybe like an 8-book run, 3 and 3, and then 2 with guys doing something.
They did say that more crossovers will happen. This is just the first initial one that they had talked about, because this was announced a while ago. And it's one of these things where, the Zeb Wells stuff is
scheduled for 2026, so they have a lot of time to do something. So I'm just hoping that it's not like, okay, Wolverine and Lobo do something, because like, let's be honest, dude, if that was real, like, it would be like 4 panels and Wolverine's would be dead. Okay.
Yeah, Lobo's pretty fucking strong, honestly.
So, you know what I mean? Like, and where they have like Deadpool and Batman, like, that sounds cool, but it's like cool. You got a fourth wall breaking character fighting one of the most serious characters that is in existence.
So I will say this. This is basically, so I like the idea. I like that they're crossing over everyone. The problem that I have with this is that, okay, Isn't this kind of basically like Wolverine and Deadpool, a serious character and a more of a comedic character? I don't like. I
Yes, but
understand both of the ideas,
again,
you know,
money
but
though.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's what we were
who's
talking
more
about.
popular than Batman? Who's more popular than Deadpool right now?
see, that's the joke right there. Making money in comics. That's the joke right there. Good job, Gray. You're the man.
Well, this
Well,
is how
Making
you
money
bring
in
in the
comics.
movie one. Come on,
That's actually
everyone likes
right.
Batman in the movies. Everybody loved Deadpool last year. Why not grab him from Marvel?
Right.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you said. It's just that a lot of people were kind of shocked that it was Deadpool. Most people assumed Wolverine, Spider-Man, because they essentially are the biggest characters in Marvel right now, if we're being honest with ourselves. You know?
Well, Spider-Man would have probably been a better fit because they
Yeah.
both lost people at the beginning of their hero
Yep.
ventures.
Mhm.
And even though Spider-Man is a
Martha.
wisecracker, he's more kind and he's more heroic. So it would be
Street level too. Street
yeah,
level.
it would be a very interesting dichotomy between the two. Batman with fear, Spider-Man with quips and just heroism. So I think
Yeah.
Spider-Man would have fit better. But I love Greg Capullo, who's doing the inside work for this. So I'm definitely going to buy it.
Oh,
The-
dude, it's gonna be. Could you imagine how awesome it's gonna look?
Oh,
So
it's
the
gonna look
only
great.
other thing that I was going to point out was that the only reason why they maybe didn't use Spider-Man, I'm not saying this is the reason, I'm just speculating because I'm a genius, obviously. They did just relaunch Amazing Spider-Man and he is back in 7th grade. Maybe they didn't want to use that version yet because if this
But
Batman
it's not
fights that
going
kid,
to
he's going to
be
beat the
that
shit out of him.
version. It's not.
Yeah, like
it's not going to be
Yeah.
because the thing is though, you got to look at what do we know? The one biggest thing about Batman, he has the best rogues. Okay,
it's true.
so you're putting him in with someone who really doesn't have, like
Deadpool kind of just fights the X-Men villains typically.
he fights a lot of things that aren't really like. I would love to see like Batman run into Dr. Octopus. Like, what the hell would he
Yeah.
think of that?
Yeah.
You know, or like Spider-Man having to fuck around with the Joker. Could you imagine that?
Yeah,
Like,
so
written
like
well, that
people
would be
had
great.
basically said like, well, they already had Batman and Spider-Man and all the, but it doesn't matter though. I don't like see. This is the thing that I don't agree with people generally speaking. Is like just because you did it once doesn't mean you can't do it. It's literally. I'll use a basketball analogy here. Why did people go and watch Laker games when Kobe Bryant was alive constantly? Because you just fucking draw. If Batman and Spider-Man are the biggest draws, then you put the biggest draws. I don't care if it's done 1,000 times. Who gives a fuck? It's gonna draw eyes in to read the book. That's all that matters. I mean, Deadpool is popular, but it is popular as a character only in like people that probably watch the movies. He doesn't sell very well. He just doesn't.
How much did the last Spider-Man movie make, though?
A lot of money for Sony. A lot. They banking. Unless you count the Miles Morales one. And that one did very well too.
Not even Spider-Man. Bruce Banner, Hulk.
Dude, that would be
characters.
Cool.
Yeah, two characters with dual personalities trying to go back and forth.
Maybe you could get Moon Knight. Batman.
Yeah, Moon Knight would be another one that would be interesting. There's lots of. Don't get me wrong, Deadpool. It might be fun, but I think there's a lot better matchups you could have done. Like I would have rather seen Deadpool and Lobo before I see Deadpool and Batman.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. That makes so much more sense because they could just literally destroy each other down to the atom and like come back at the dude. They could fight at the beginning of the crossover, and literally the last panel is their hands like like getting guns. And that's all they
wrestling.
are. Thumb wrestling.
Thumb wrestling, just severed hands. Just.
But I mean, Gray's,
I'm just saying,
100% correct though.
You're cold-blooded,
never right about anything. Gray is always wrong.
That's true.
I'm always right.
If you're cold-blooded, No Way Home grossed $800,000 and $1.3 billion is Deadpool Wolverine. Like, I think you bank on that one.
No, No Way Home made $1 billion for Marvel, did it not? I'm pretty sure it did.
So,
I'm showing 800 million.
I think,
Are you going worldwide?
The movie audience, if that's what you're leaning towards, then yes, 100%. That's who you would have to go with. You would have to go with that. Depending on when this came out, if the new Superman movie is successful, I don't think it's going to be as successful as people want it to be. I'm still going to go see it because I love Superman. I hope it is. I hope it's great. I hope
and that's
it
what
is.
Superman should inspire. Hope.
Yes, but it shouldn't be hope in the fact of whether or not Superman is going to be good or not. That's not the hope that he should be inspiring.
So for me, I do agree with you guys. I don't hate the idea of this. This sounds completely fine, but there's just better matchups that could have been chosen. Batman for DC makes perfect sense. That's their biggest character, obviously.
I mean, there could be more. There could be more because this
They
is
did
a
announce
single
more
book.
crossovers.
This is a
will be
single
coming.
book, though.
Yeah.
Whether or not we get the format that they had, where it's like Cap versus
Batman or whatever.
Batman or this person versus this person. I'm hoping that there's more characters in
I see what you're saying. Yep.
the books as opposed to just these two guys. That could be the one that starts it off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That could be the one. Maybe it's a two-part, one in one book. So I mean, there's so many options to choose from, and I remember what was cool about the old ones is like fans got to write into Wizard and vote on like
yeah, they got
some
to
of the
vote on
winners.
the ones. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
And that would be kind of neat if they started doing like online polls, like who would you like to see together?
They should do
then,
that. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you could create a team
Right.
of guys that from Marvel and or DC that have worked on said characters and they collaborate together. If it's a collaboration, that I think is the biggest thing.
If they did that nowadays with the
cool,
access to Twitter,
if it's
that would
not,
be great.
If it's not a collaboration and it's just, okay, guys, you're going to write this one book and then they're going to write the second part of it. Like that, I don't know if that's as drawing as the nostalgia is for the old books.
Yeah,
you know
so what you're
mean?
saying essentially is you want them to have a full collaborative effort, not just the like, oh, you get your one shot, I get my one shot, because that's what essentially this is going to be. It's two one shots from both of them. But I will reiterate once again, they did say there's more coming, so there could be other ideas down the pipeline.
Yes, yeah.
All right,
but like we have to take into effect what Gray said. That is the reason.
No, we don't.
Like
Fuck
it's
Gray.
it's a money grab. So as much as I want to think in terms of a comic book fan, we have to look at it in terms of what is going to make them the most money. So like
comic books are making money.
That's what you would have to think. So is Superman gonna do Spider-Man? Are they gonna do that?
No, do him. Oh, don't give these guys any ideas these days. He's gonna be doing
man.
him.
Your fucking mind is just.
You know how these guys are in Marvel.
Any innuendo is just. My God, dude! How do you like go outside like from the door and just
2 hours ago? You fucking bastard!
Everything just starts smacking you in the face.
All right,
like,
let's go.
Everything.
Deadpool and Batman. Marvel and DC announce epic crossover with its two big heroes.
It says big two heroes.
Yeah, that was just debatable. I'm joking. Deadpool and Batman.
Words are not debatable when they're written.
That's true. Deadpool and Batman, Marvel and DC announce epic crossover with its big two heroes. That's right. Deadpool and Batman are about to face off in a couple of stories no DC or Marvel fans saw coming. After months of speculation, the big two have officially confirmed both publishers are working together on a series of one-shots that has the world's greatest detective coming together with the Merc with a Mouth. Entertainment Weekly broke the news that this September, Marvel Comics is releasing Deadpool Batman. This story comes from Zeb Wells and Greg Capullo. His art's very, very good. Which follows Wade Wilson as he's hired for a job in Gotham City that brings him face to face with the city's greatest protector. And this is the cover for Marvel's. This is gonna be cover A, obviously. Looks solid.
So I mean, at least we're getting that in September. So we'll have to see how the 2026 books. I'm hoping that there is some, Twitter or some sort of online social media, like what do you guys want to see?
And if you're asking me what I want to see, I want to see Wonder Woman kissing Rogue. That's what I want to see. But that's just me because I'm a weirdo, obviously. God. But the fun doesn't end there, as DC Comics will follow up the one-shot a few months later in November with Batman Deadpool by legendary Batman writer Grant Morrison and artist Dan Mora.
That is ridiculous. That's
a great combo.
Those are both going to be really good one shots.
You know, it's crazy. They announced 3 good people. Sorry, it was a team of 4. 3 of them are really good. And then you just got to have Zeb Wells.
Here's the thing:
there.
we don't know. Like Zeb Wells could write something if they're like, hey, we want this to be within this structure. He could. He. It's not like his dialogue is awful.
I'm doing that thing that you said. I'm hoping it's going to be that good. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Capullo's art is
very
just freaking phenomenal. And he draws Batman. He's one of those guys that draws Batman where you're just like, God damn, that looks fucking amazing.
Entertainment Weekly also released the covers of these one-shots, which show Batman and Deadpool side by side for the first time in comic history.
Let's see that Mora cover. Look at that.
Very good. Look at that. This is oh my god. Like Marvel's is cool. I know Greg did some. You did a good job there, Greg. But this one is really damn good. Holy shit!
Just Capullo's art is really good, but Dan Mora, dude, Dan Mora is a fucking monster.
Once upon a time,
what do you think, Warren, about the covers? What do you think? Which one?
Oh, Mora's is better. I kind of feel like Capullo kind of cashed in on his. it's just kind of, it's more smoke, but that Mora cover right there is that is beautiful.
I love how he's got the super soaker on the back. Like it's phenomenal. Like, dude, it's so good, dude. Dan Mora is just.
And I can't wait to see Grant Morris written Deadpool.
That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be really, really interesting. Grant Morrison writing Deadpool is going to be really good.
Because he's got some, he can definitely get that dialogue out there where you're like, holy shit, like that's some otherworldly stuff going on.
Oh, Gray.
Look at the background of that Mora cover.
Gray, which cover did you like?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta follow the consensus. I don't hate that above cover, but it doesn't hold a candle to this one.
Look at all the stuff in the background.
Look at this. It's so detailed. It's so damn good.
That is phenomenal.
Damn. Dan, hey, Dan Mora, if you ever wanted to draw on my comic book, The Spectacular MSK issue #1, I have $1 I can pay you for a page rate.
Dude, it is one panel, and the rest is blank pages for you to fill in yourself. It is MSK as Oscar the Grouch peeking out of a garbage can.
Oh, shit. Once upon a time, Marvel and DC Comics crossed over quite frequently. What began with Superman teaming up with Spider-Man blossomed into a decades-spanning collaboration between the two titans of the comic book world, with fan favorite crossovers such as the Uncanny X-Men and the New Teen Titans, and DC versus Marvel, not to mention the Amalgam imprint. Unfortunately, these crossovers came to an end in the early 2000s. While many fans had given up hope, the two publishers could work things out. That hope returned earlier this year when both publishers hinted that a new crossover was on the horizon. This news is undoubtedly going to drive fans wild, as Batman and Deadpool are two of the biggest franchises in the comic book world. No, I disagree with that. Deadpool can't sell worth a shit. I'll just tell you this right now. There's a new run of Deadpool.
Well, they said biggest franchises, so that could technically mean movie. You know,
if you're going by movies, yes.
Well, it says franchises. It's not saying like he's the biggest comic book seller. If you put in even his, kills the Marvel universe and those sales and stuff like that in with the movie sales, that's a big franchise.
Yeah, so like recently, guys, just with Deadpool, they had a run from Cody Ziegler. It's gonna cap out at fucking, let's see, the first issues 1 through 5, then 6 through so about it's getting canceled after like fucking, I don't know, 20 issues. Like, and then they're gonna relaunch it as the Deadpools and Wolverines, where Deadpool and Wolverine are going to team up with their daughters in the comic book. Deadpool sales have been pretty iffy for a long time. Outside of, his last bestseller was what Lab said was Kills the Marvel Universe. And they're doing that again, where it's called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe a second time. Yeah, it's so fucking innovative, Marvel. Holy shit.
It's like Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe again. Or something like that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It sucks because it's like that first one, like I said, that first one was so fun, and it was so different. It was something so different. And instead of cashing in on it to the point where it's like, okay, let's do something different. How are the artists back alive? Because if you remember, the end of it was he goes to Marvel Studios and kills all the
I remember
artists
that.
and writers. So like that was fantastic. So
Yeah.
how does it happen again?
It was all a dream, man. That's how it
And
happens in TV. Remember?
dude, it would be awesome, which I
Yeah.
thought would be awesome. What if they had like the Cosmics versus the Mystics, and it was led by Thor on the Marvel side and Shazam on the DC side, and
That'd
you
be
had
cool.
like
Yeah.
Doctor Fate and the Spectre,
Mhm.
and people like that, and then you had some of the larger heavy hitters, magic users like Doctor Strange. That would be pretty freaking cool, man.
Oh yeah, I agree. Doctor Strange versus
Or
the fucking dude in the helmet. Oh my goodness.
Dude, how
Oh,
about
John
Dr. Fate?
Constantine?
Constantine could be, but dude, imagine this comic. If it was written by Hickman.
Oh
and
no.
Art by Esad Ribic. Imagine Molecule Man versus Mr. Mixopiddleick. Dude, how freaking awesome would that be?
This is what I want. I want Doctor Fate versus Doctor Strange, written by Ethan Van Sciver, the greatest comic book writer of all time. Just joking. Holy God, that's how you get piles of shit. While some may prefer a different team up, this is just the beginning. As Marvel and DC already hinted that another crossover is being prepared for 2026. I'm calling it. That's Spider-Man and Superman. I'm just gonna call it right now. I could be wrong, but Superman is on DC side.
I still
Either
think
it's
it would be
Wolverine
cool
or
if they did,
Spider-Man.
like Iron Man and Batman, like
Iron Man Batman would be pretty cool. That sounds
some
cool.
stuff where they had to like work together, something like that. That would be neat.
Regardless, this is a huge win for fans everywhere. Not only have both Marvel and DC tapped some truly top tier talent for this crossover, Zeb Wells, top tier talent, sure.
Let's not harp on the Zeb Wells thing because we don't know how it's going to be in terms of.
I'm doing the model that you
it's
always do. I'm just gonna hope.
It's going to be heavily, there's going to be a structure to it. It's not going to be like this story literally came out of Zeb Wells' brain.
Well,
like
one would
there's probably going to be some more hands and more editorial involved.
Right.
Looking over more stuff, making sure everything is better.
Correct.
The Batman and Deadpool one-shots are solid evidence that it's a new era for both publishers and nothing is off the table right now. The new era for DC was all in after Dawn of DC failed them. They're in their new era right now. Dude. That's what DC's in.
Dude, Thanos versus Darkseid written by Jim Starlin.
With art by Jim Lee.
No, with art by Jim Starlin. Written and drawn by Jim Starlin. How awesome would that be?
Oh no, have it written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Jim Starlin.
How dare you?
Fail-safe is gonna come in and beat Thanos and Darkseid at the end.
Shut up.
God, I need some love from you, Laps. Jeez, you're not giving me the white man love, but it's fine.
You mentioned fail-safe and Jim Starlin in the same sentence.
Or the Brainiac Kang.
My mind is shutting off right now.
Written by Mark Webb.
If I see the fucking Batman Zurinar, I'm done.
A Thanos
Brainiac versus Ultron.
Oh,
that would be interesting.
That'd be fantastic.
I would read that one.
That one, Jonathan Hickman should write. That one he should be able to do. I'll give him that one. For whatever reason, crossovers between Marvel and DC have seemed like a pipe dream for an entire generation of comic book readers. But the big two have put their differences aside. They haven't. This is just money. They still probably hate each other. They'll just fool you. This is just all optics, if we're being honest here. And are finally, once again, open to the concept of bringing their worlds together. The landscape of comics has changed so much in the last couple of decades, and it's exciting to see what could come next. Justice League Unlimited, Avengers, and Ultimate Absolute Amalgam line, that would be absolutely insane. Just imagine that.
That would be cool.
That's Ultimate, the new Marvel Comics Ultimate Universe crossing with the absolute.
Well, Ultimate Spider-Man meets Absolute Batman.
That's cool. That's cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Dude,
but for
Absolute
now,
Martian Manhunter meets Ultimate Wolverine.
Wolverine got to murder that man. There's no talking. That's one panel. He's murdering him to death. That man's crazy.
Who?
Ultimate Wolverine. He's insane.
Dude, he won't be able to touch Manhunter. How would he
We're not
touch
doing
him?
this right now. We're not. We got a
But how
nerd
would he
war. I'm
touch him?
joking. I'm
He can
joking.
turn invisible, and he's like one of the most powerful psychics in the face of everything. And he's just as strong and fast and powerful as Superman. Come on.
But for now, fans can make do when Batman and Deadpool meet for the first time. Deadpool Batman is available for Marvel Comics on September 17th, 2025, and Batman Deadpool is available for DC Comics later this November.
Wow. That's crazy, man, that it's actually happening. That's amazing.
I like that. Give me the two alternate universes crossing over. That sounds amazing. Like, absolute Wonder Woman. Who would she fight? Thor? He would kill her. Whatever. It's fine. I always debate these things. I love it. I think it's fun. Walter did say, I don't have an issue with them revisiting. I have issues with the product itself, with how big these franchises are from a business standpoint. It makes too much sense to make new films. Oh, no. This is about comic books. I don't know about movies at all. So, Walter, you need your brain fixed. But I do want to revisit something really quickly. Let's just, I want to pick your guys' brain for this video.
I agree. Wait, Gray made a good one. Justice League versus Marvel Zombies. That would be pretty cool. They did have this Gray, if you want to check this out. DC made their own pretty much Marvel Zombies books. They're called Deceased. Those are actually
I do remember that. I never actually checked them out, but
they're pretty damn good.
Awesome.
They're pretty damn good.
I know that's written by Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor did a lot of those really influential Elseworld stories. Like he wrote Injustice. He wrote that one. God, crazy. We gotta go over DC's at one point.
1, 2, 3. There's 5 of the Deceased books, and you can get them actually pretty cheap. So, those are a fun read.
Okay, so I know this is on Wikipedia. I know, but they had the matchups, and I wanted to go over everyone's brains about who they think.
Wait, are these official?
No, it's the same matchups from the time they crossed over.
From the
had the whole brothers and everything. Yeah. I just want to see who you guys would pick out of each one.
Okay.
I know Lap's gonna choose every single DC one. Okay.
No, I'm not.
So
that's not true.
Aquaman versus Namor.
I mean, I think Namor would win.
Are we talking Momoa or which fish talker here?
Okay, we can use movies too. Pick.
Even if it was Momoa or if it was Arthur whenever he had the long hair, goatee, and hook in his arm.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say if he's got a hook hand, I'm going Arthur.
Hell yeah.
Namor he's very, very powerful, like super powerful.
Strong,
yeah, and he was like I think he was like the first mutant type character that they made or said. I can't remember, but he was one of their. He was one of their first.
He fought during World War II with the original Human Torch.
Yeah.
So I think he got kind of retconned into becoming the first mutant because they made him a mutant later, and then so that kind of retconned him into being the first mutant, I think. Well, that was until Abasur Apocalypse. Then he became the first mutant. With that whole story,
and Sabanur, there it is.
And Sabanur.
And they had
Apocalypse
because they had the Submariner. Like he had comics way back in the day, like way early. And I think it was before they were they Capital Comics or what the hell was it? I can't remember what the name of it was. But yeah.
All right, who do you guys think wins out of Elektra versus Catwoman?
Elektra.
Come on, probably Elektra.
Elektra
would win.
No way.
Out of her.
The kitty's got claws, though. She's also got a whip.
All right, stop the cat jokes. It's. I hate you. We're not doing that.
I'm going Catwoman on this, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Elektra.
I'll say this. I'll say who do I like more? Catwoman.
I like Catwoman more. But Elektra, she murdered.
Dude, she's got 9 lives. Elektra's died before.
Doesn't she have those daggers? Whatever the fuck they called? Those little small.
They're both size.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Are
you not familiar with Raphael?
No, because I'm black and I'm not good looking. I'm hot and rich. All right. The
He's
Flash
cool, but
versus
rude.
Quicksilver. My boy, any Flash is winning. Give me Wally West, Barry Allen. You can have Jay Garrick. You can have Jay Garrick in there. Flash is easily smoking Quicksilver. It's not even close. Like, I don't know why there wasn't a fight. This is the Flash.
Well, they don't write Quicksilver the way that they write Flash.
That's true.
Flash is literally like a MacGuffin. You know, like he can do pretty much anything. So it's like kind of
he's
hard
like
to.
the god of the Speed Force, and
Yeah.
Quicksilver is just a mutant that runs fast.
Yeah, he's yeah.
There's
Like,
a whole different spectrum.
What is the top speed of Quicksilver? Has it ever been revealed? He's like, is he?
He's
the
not even the
Flash
fastest guy in
in his universe.
in Marvel. They had
Yeah,
an
because-
old speedster.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it! What was his name? Anyway, they had an old one that was. I'm blanking. I can't remember his name.
You're fine. No, I'm just saying because I was gonna just say. I mean, there's iterations of both Barry and Wally that are literally faster than light itself. They're faster than time. Faster than
they
time.
can travel back.
The
in
Runner.
time.
The Runner. That's what his name. I just looked it up. It was the Runner.
Using the internet. Oh, you.
That was very
privileged
creative.
white person. I'm joking.
Yes. And he used
They
used
in
the
Eternals?
power primordial. The Runner did. So
All right, next one. We got Robin, we got the sidekicks, Jubilee and Robin. I don't know that much about Jubilee, honestly. I really
Robin
don't.
all day long. Jubilee
Yeah.
is a girl, like a high school girl that goes shopping. Like she's like the.
You talking about any
Okay,
version
but she's
of-
got a
of
yellow
Lily
trench
Dogs?
coat. I mean,
Chili
come on.
Are you talking about any version of Robin, like Tim Drake and Jason Todd?
Any
Todd,
version.
Yeah,
of
dude.
Robin.
Give me the most annoying version of Robin, and it still wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, the most
I-
annoying version of Robin is the most deadly, though. So
That's true.
Damian Wayne,
I would
put
say,
Damian
this
Wayne in
is-
there. He's just gonna cut
This
her
is
head off.
definitely Laps's favorite. Silver Surfer versus Green Lantern.
Silver Surfer would
Green
destroy
Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Which lantern?
You pick.
Which surfer? Are we talking?
Silver Surf her? No.
I think
No.
Silver Surfer just because of like
Norman Rat's pretty fucking strong,
Well,
honestly.
yeah,
Those are-
they're like god
powerful.
tier
The
kind of level.
The power
Wow.
cosmic versus the Green Lantern versus willpower.
It's like
when he
power
can
will,
absorb- he can absorb anything into the surfboard. And if you like cosmic energy of any type of natural energy, he can enhance. So like even if he hit him with stuff, like it's not going to do anything to surfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what if?
Go, Greg.
What if you
Unless
have a
he
certain
walks up
color?
to him and just smacks him right in his silver nuts.
He doesn't have nuts. He's just a man. Hold
Hold on,
what
what were
wanna
you going to
Greg?
say, Gray?
Absolutely nothing. Just I don't see how the lantern could hold up to it. I mean,
He
all
got
it
power of
takes is
will, man.
color.
What if I had enough willpower to match my power to the cosmic that Silver Surfer has?
I'll say this: that was one of the best retcons that Johns did. Was the yellow thing, you know?
Oh,
'Cause that was pretty stupid. Because what was it like? He was weak to yellow, and it was people were like, "No, dude, it was like not just that. That's bullshit." Because I have a comic where Green Lantern is flying through the sky, and he smacks a yellow billboard and stopped dead in his tracks.
All right, next one. Thor versus Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is Shazam, everyone. They had it was the naming rights and
Thor.
everything. I think Thor wins that. Thor's pretty strong. Like,
Wait,
I
so
don't-
you're saying Captain Marvel like Shazam?
yeah. That's why I just told people that was Shazam
Uh,
for the video.
Oh, that's.
I would say
rough.
Thor. I'm saying Thor wins. Thor's fucking insanely powerful.
Yeah, Thor like God King Thor and like
He has
Odin
that
Force
Warrior's
Thor.
Madness thing where he can multiply his power times 10, like some sort of
When-
Super Saiyan.
We're
or
not
whatever.
talking Jane Foster then.
No, I was under the assumption she wasn't going to get uttered at all as words. Honestly.
I would say Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
Captain
Okay.
Marvel.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Superman versus the Hulk. My boy Superman wins that every day. It's not even
Superman
really close.
Superman.
that's not a
Yeah.
thing.
Spider. Okay, it's not fair. Spider-Man versus Superboy. Superboy beats the shit out of him. That's not close. He's Kryptonian.
He's got spider sense, man. He can
Oh.
sense it coming.
Now
Right.
wait, is it which Superboy is it? Is it the one with
I want the
one with the black
goggles and
jacket.
glasses?
I like the one with the black
okay.
jacket. Yeah.
It was
If it
the-
was
it
like
was the leather
Superboy
jacket.
Prime, then I would say
Shit.
like that's not even a thing to discuss. But Superboy, I mean, like, yeah, that's
He's like the 50-50 Luther clone one.
oh, okay. So it's
Oh,
it's the
God.
one from Reign, the Reign of the Superman.
All right. The next one. This is probably the most evenly matched one. It's Batman versus Captain America. I would always say Batman because Batman is a better fighter. He knows more
Captain
martial arts.
America.
Okay, but does he have a
Captain
shield from
America,
Wakanda?
so as much as I love Batman and Batman prep time, blah blah blah. I mean, he's fighting someone with super soldier serum.
He fights
which is
Deathstroke.
good.
But
No,
Captain
Deathstroke
America,
has the same operation that Captain America essentially had. They're
Captain
both
America has
No, it's
genius
not the
level
same.
tactician. Captain America's a genius level tactician.
So was Batman.
He's got the reactions from the super soldier serum. He's stronger than Batman, more resilient.
Wakandan technology.
And he can do this all day.
Oh
Got a
God.
point.
Oh God. Okay. I'm saying Batman is a master of deception. Okay. So if
Which
he's gonna
Batman are we talking about?
Oh God. Oh, George Clooney's Gray. Obviously his.
Well, he does have the Batscapes.
okay.
Maybe clones.
I'm just saying, Batman can fight Deathstroke, who's about as strong as Captain America.
I
if
don't
he can
think
fight
they're
him
the
I
evenly.
don't agree.
If he can fight Deathstroke pretty evenly, he can fight Captain America.
Dude, I've seen Captain America like take down a plane.
He would have all of his
Superman before.
Yeah, but that's yes.
So
yeah,
I was gonna say, like, he'd have all of his toys, right?
And I do agree.
That's a
always
thing.
Elseworld shit. I'll just add it to my argument.
So
But
I think he would have his Superman armor though, if he.
I mean, if
had
he had
to,
all
like-
of his, if he had all of his toys and knew that the fight
if you're
was
going Dark Knight
happening,
Returns Batman over Captain America, I would say yes. I mean, Captain America should physically be
Dark
able to beat
Knight
him.
Returns Batman is like fucking 70 years old.
I'm just saying, like,
His joints have failed, sir.
no, I would say you guys not think, given Batman's incredible way he knows all those different martial arts.
Here's the thing: usually these fights and stuff happen in this world like they don't know it's happening.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm not even using prep time. I'm just using just the base Batman that we know that's as smart as he is. Because keep in mind, Batman also has gadgets. And keep in mind, if Batman actually throws his rope on Captain America's legs, he's going to be able to get that off instantly.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm just saying.
Dude, he's got
I'm
a
using
utility belt.
I'm
Doesn't
trying to
just
use
have a
every
rope.
Now,
advantage
if they fight in a place where there are chandeliers and Batman can cut the chandelier, like
which he would, he would.
I could give it to Batman there. If he could 1980s Ninja Turtle his way out of it, maybe. I don't know. I look at Captain America, and as much as as a comic book character, I cannot stand him. He is insufferable most of the time.
White, he's a straight white man.
But like, it's hard for me to. As much as I love Batman, I mean, look at me. I've read. I have one of the most extensive Batman collections that I know of.
Okay, I'm going Batman. You're going Captain America. Warren, which one are you going with?
Captain America.
Gray, who are you picking?
Oh man, I can't choose MSK over the actual comic book experts. Yeah, I think I'd go Cap, but not by much. I think Batman would have a shot, depending on which Batman, which
like
Cap.
they did.
I'm just saying, Captain America, I agree, is physically strong, but so is Bruce. Doesn't Bruce bench almost 1,000 pounds?
Super Soldier Serum is like it's different. It's different
depending on like you said, depending on who's writing it,
on who
depends
writes
on the strength.
Yes. Yeah. So I just it's hard for me to go against it. They'll fight to a stalemate like they did in the comic.
But what if Captain America had sex with Batman with
Jesus,
I'm joking.
Christ.
All right.
Good Lord.
Good God. Wolverine versus Lobo.
Dude, like
Lobo.
I said, that would be
Lobo.
2 panels.
Lobo
2 panels long, and Lobo would destroy
Do you think
Wolverine.
the healing factor has any help for Wolverine in that at all?
No.
It just makes it last longer.
It makes it last infinitely longer, yeah.
You gotta think like Lobo has fought Superman to a standstill when he's been fighting at full force.
Yeah.
He just grabs him by the throat and rides his space cycle to the sun and throws him into it.
Yeah, or he just starts ripping off his skin and his organs through that adamantium.
Yeah. I don't see Lobo. Yeah.
Storm versus Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman would win that, right? There's no way she
Wonder
would.
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
I love me some Storm, but I can't see.
Well, we know you love black girls, Gray.
Well,
we know you love them.
That's right.
Wonder Woman would have to do it very quickly. Put it that way. You'd have to do it very fast.
Okay, so if we're going under this mindset that she could even have an attempt to battle Wonder Woman, she's not physically attacking her, like as far as punches. She's going to use her weather powers.
Master of the elements. You can just fly up in the sky and then lightning strike them.
Is there any type of thunder attack? Storm could.
Well, Gray, we've seen that Wonder Woman can use the lasso and skip with lightning.
Oh my God!
For sure.
All right, okay. All
So
right.
that's why I gotta say I can't see her actually winning, but
She could cause an earthquake and just swallow her up.
Okay, I want to
Yeah.
read how they actually won, how Wonder Woman won, or Storm did. After Wonder Woman drops Thor's hammer in order to allow the fight to happen as it was intended to, Storm won the battle after repeatedly hitting Wonder Woman with lightning after a brief melee encounter. Doesn't make any sense.
I would
If
have
they
thought
fought
that she
melee,
could
You
climb
gotta
it like you're
remember.
saying.
You have to remember these were voted on by fans.
Oh, you're
So
right.
At the
Fans are
time that
retarded,
happened,
obviously.
like that was during the
Yeah.
second coming of the X-Men.
I'm just saying, any
They were
fan that
huge.
said that Wonder Woman, any fan that said that Storm could survive a melee encounter with Wonder Woman, who fights with
No,
Superman to
she
train,
can't. No,
you
she
beat the
can't.
shit out of
No.
her.
Wonder
Well,
Woman,
that's fine.
if she could punch her one time,
She's
like
out.
her brain would melt in her head.
Or let's just use this. Wonder Woman wouldn't even probably need to use a percentage of her strength to knock her out. It would just like
Oh, it
a
would
light
if
tap.
I don't know how she would, unless she can
that's
like
it.
somehow use weather
You
as
know how dumb
armor.
fans
I
are.
don't know.
How in the world she survived that melee encounter?
Dude, they had Wolverine beat Lobo. That's so.
Oh,
I mean,
no!
come on. Like
It
so,
don't make
you know.
sense.
I
Oh,
mean,
God.
like.
I feel sorry for the writers who had to take the votes to be like, what do you mean I have to have Wolverine beat Lobo?
Yeah,
How
I
the
know,
hell am I
right?
supposed to figure that out?
Yeah. Like also to conjure up that Storm's thunderbolt attacks are strong enough to hit Wonder Woman, and like it will cause some damage. I'm not saying Storm's weak, but like she takes hits from Superman. Like what the fuck? It's like, God, look, this is why you don't trust fans. Sometimes fans are morons, dude. Holy crap! But we'll wrap it up here. I added that fun little segment there to the video because I thought it was always fun to get everyone's ideas of who would win these fights hypothetically. We'll start with Gray. How you feeling about the one shots? Are you gonna read them and review them with us, or are you gonna be a white guy and not talk to us when we do these things?
Yeah, I could probably read and review them. It doesn't sound horrible, but I kind of agree with you guys. It just sounds like it's going to be Deadpool Wolverine again. It feels like it's going to be that same type of dynamic, but this time in the skies. I don't know.
Hell yeah. Warren, what do you think, man? Your closing thoughts?
I'm down for it because of the writers, the artists, Grant Morrison, and Greg. But one thing that's cool is like sometimes two characters that you couldn't even imagine working together might be an interesting story by themselves. So that would be cool, and it is going to be kind of cool to see like Batman like confuse him for being Deathstroke. So that might be funny.
When he finds out his name.
Yeah, he's like,
okay, I'm taking Batman's smart card if he thinks he's Deathstroke. That's like, dude, Deathstroke wears some pretty different gear to Deadpool. It's not even close to the same.
That was the thing is they thought Deathstroke, or he thought that Rob Liefeld copied Deathstroke when he made Deadpool.
They did. He did.
Yeah, so that would be the big. That would be the big.
Oh
joke
no, I knew
there,
the joke. It was just like I couldn't imagine a world Batman thinking he's Slade. There's no way I could think
because it's the whole point of him being Wade Wilson and having the only thing that's different is he's red. If he doesn't say anything, I mean, I know he's the mouth, the merc with the mouth, but at first, I mean, he could think it's Slade Wilson in a different costume. Like at
that
first,
would be funny. He's just like Slade, and then he's like, no, I'm Wade. And he's like Wilson. You want like his brother? Like,
yeah, it's to me. I think for me personally, I'm very excited about the artists, but I'm very excited about Dan Mora and freaking Grant Morrison. That's just like blows my mind for some reason.
Yeah.
Because if people don't remember, Grant Morrison already announced he was coming back to do a Batman story. I imagine is this the one he was talking about, or is it a different one he's doing? But keep in mind, it could be either one.
I could if it's only like 1-1. I mean, maybe that's what he was talking about. But you know how Grant Morrison is. When Grant Morrison comes back, he comes back and does like a bunch of stuff and then goes away. That's just how he's always been. He'll do a whole shit ton of stuff and then be like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with the comics. How could you look at this Justice League team? They suck. They suck. That's what he said back when he took over the Justice League. Like when it was like freaking like Booster Gold and fucking like all these like, B like C tier people. He's like, look at this. There's not even Superman. This team sucks. This team sucks. Look at him. Look at him. This is fucking stupid. This is trash. was
Oh
great.
God. But for me, I like the idea. It's fun. Depending on the team is also fine. I like that. The Zeb Wells edition is a good lord. I just would imagine DC's one is written better. Just going off their team versus Marvel's team. That's all.
Yeah. It could surprise you though. It could. I just think there's going to be so much like structure around.
Oh,
what
yo,
they
he's
can
going to be
write
under a
and what they can
microscope.
do.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I don't feel that probably as much for Grant Morrison. Maybe how he uses Deadpool. Maybe.
Yeah.
But like we've seen Grant Morrison can write Batman. Like that's not.
Yeah.
an
That's
issue,
not a question.
you know?
It's just what if, because I know there was some shit in Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run where he like made Spider-Man out to be the biggest loser ever. If Bruce
Right,
is
but
a
he's
loser,
also written other books besides that Spider-Man run. So I
Yeah,
mean, he's written a ton of stuff.
that's true.
So,
But I don't trust people sometimes. When you
I-
burn me once, I hate you forever. That's how it works.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Then you shouldn't like any comic book ever,
Hey,
because every comic book writer has burned us at one point or another.
you know who hasn't burned us? Ethan Van Sciver. He always delivers his comic books. All right, that's an inside joke, guys. It's a joke.
It's not
It's
an
a joke.
inside joke. That's an outside and everything joke. That is
Yeah.
just known. That dude's been working on like page 2 since fucking 2015.
Oh, okay, God. Oh, sure. But no, I'm glad they're working together. I hope it turns out good on both sides. I think it's a very big thing that could do a lot of good it basically give a lot of that goodwill that a lot of people want out of comic books. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace. You guys are all fucking clout chasers. I hate you all.
Oh, that's
Alter,
awesome
you might
to
want to
say.
speed up the live stream. Just hit the red button where it says live, and you'll be exactly at where we are.
He made like there's more comments after that.
He's Walter. He's alive for something.
He said horrible analogy when you made a horrible analogy.
Yeah,
Oh.
he was on point.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, Walter's cool.
Walter, God.
Why are you
Lord.
making fun of Walter? What did he ever do to you, man?
Whoa. He's from New York. He's a Knicks fan. Like,
So
there's reason not to make fun of a Knicks fan?
you're a Lakers fan.
How dare you?
That is all the reason to make fun of you.
Hey, I will say this. LeBron James might be my dad. You never know, man.
Oh, he's definitely not your dad.
It's true.
He's definitely not, because the talent
Yeah.
stream, doesn't
They
fall.
do say
like,
talent does skip a generation sometimes.
Oh no,
I mean-
not with this one. Not with this one.
he got. That's where he gets all the clout from.
Yeah.
Oh no. But tonight's episode was really fun. We'll go for like another 10, 15 minutes and then we'll head out. But no, great episode. Shaun had to drop earlier in the episode, guys, because he was still, getting over the effects of being sick. But no, it was great having Shaun here. I love my white man. White guys do it best. It just is what it is. It is just true.
I don't know what the it is that you speak of.
Oh, God.
I've been white my whole life.
Me too.
I've never
same
been told
here.
I do anything the best.
Have you heard of the saying, if it ain't white, it ain't right kind of thing?
I mean, I've heard stupid people say that.
Yeah.
I
that's
mean,
pretty dumb.
great minds think alike,
I just couldn't get over Warren manipulating his Grogu at the beginning. It's like Dr. Evil and the cat.
Gosh. Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome. What do I pay you guys for?
It's funny how MSK has brought this conglomerate of people together.
And I wanted the banter funness out of it. Like we could shit talk each other, and the stream's over or the episode's end, and you're like, "Cool, we'll go about our lives."
Oh,
come back again.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
I don't take anything personally.
You back in the day, man, people would message me after the episodes are over. Not this show, another one like years ago. They'd be like,
Mm.
"Oh my god, that person made me." I was
Where
like, "I
can you
don't."
find that show?
They're on Spotify. I wasn't retconned out of existence of YouTube. You know, I'm essentially I had a new 52. You know, it's okay. You forget the previous. Out with the old, in with the new. You know, and then I was taken down. Then I rebirthed. You know, and now at this point,
So what did they take you down for?
hate speech.
Hate speech.
Wait,
Yeah.
the person that said white is right earlier in the stream got taken down for hate speech? Weird.
Whoa.
Wacky.
It's been announced that Rachel Zegler is going to be on OnlyFans. That's not true.
Who cares?
She's,
I highly
she's
doubt that.
fallen that much.
That's yeah.
Dude,
it's a
she had
concept.
Y2K.
Yeah. I was in my Dawn of DC moment back in 2023 when I had some Rumble things I was doing, and now I'm all in. You know, we can always, you know, it's not that I went all in because everything else failed. I went all in because I wanted to basically just go all in on content creation.
Have you ever thought of not being a jackass?
No, I've always,
okay.
no, not even once in my life. I was like, you know what, I should do less trash talk.
Okay.
Not even once.
I'm just asking. Just had to
I'm a humble person.
Just had to throw it out there.
You know what? There was a black guy who was trying to pay for his sodas.
Why can't
whatever.
he just be a guy?
I'm building a narrative here.
Oh.
So
Okay.
people say I don't help black people. Not true. There was this black guy who couldn't pay for his items at the Dollar General, and he needed like a few bucks, and I gave it to him. And I helped the black person out.
Okay. Cool.
You
Yeah.
want like a certificate or something, or like?
I was more looking like for a cookie, but it's cool. It's all good.
Here, let me shove this cookie through the internet. Did you get it?
Oh God, yes. You wanted to accept my cookies? No, that's an internet joke actually. So this man was ready to shut down the whole stream to check the news. Yeah, I'm just saying, Rachel Zegler doesn't look that bad. I mean, I wouldn't care to look at porn that she does, but
You've done nothing but trash her appearance, like every time you've talked about her, and now you're like, wait,
Her
but she
appearance
has.
in her
Yes.
movies, her physical appearance is fine.
No, dude. No.
You guys just build these narratives out of nothing. Oh my God.
You realize all this
You
stuff's been
literally
recorded,
were saying,
and edited and
how
put
can
out.
she be the fairest one of them all when she is like in the movie with Gal Gadot, or as you call her, Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot.
Pretty sure you called her a 2. So you'd spend money to see a 2?
Cinnabrit, that stupid dumb whore, is a 2.
Wow, listen to how he like stupid dumb.
Rachel
whore.
Zegler is like a 6 out of 10. And keep in mind, this is in context with women because women wear makeup, so we're not saying their actual faces. Keep in mind.
Listen, dude, like you saying that Rachel Zegler is a 6 out of 10 means that you can get anything over a 6 out of 10 on that scale.
I would say I have maybe sort of.
I guarantee you have not banged anything better looking than Rachel Zegler.
Me having sex, that's already where the joke is, right there.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, look, I'm not saying I have. There's definitely people in the world that, are out of what you call the MSK range.
No. Keep in mind, I've been with plenty of hot, attractive ladies. As good as Rachel Zegler? I mean, I would hope so because she looks okay. She's okay.
If Rachel Zegler knocked on your door and wanted to bang you, you're gonna be like,
yeah,
maybe,
but I'm still,
okay.
but she doesn't look as good as some other girls I've seen.
She said you haven't seen MSK's pillow with makeup on last. That's one attractive baby. Look at it.
You guys are insane, man.
Walter throwing out more narratives, dude.
These narratives are too much.
Z's writing all of this down, by the way. His book is going to come out one day, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, God. I just don't think... I mean, she has one more role that's coming up. She's going to be in a movie with Marissa Tomei, who was Aunt May in the Spider-Man movies recently. I don't know how that's going to be any good, but Who knows at this point with her? I saw her in West Side Story. I didn't think she was that good.
I mean,
honestly.
the thing with Rachel Zegler that makes her unattractive is her opinions.
Yeah, her
And
personality is terrible.
it's not
Yeah.
like it's not that I don't like it's not that I agree with her opinions. It's the way I think it's more the way that she comes across. Like, if you don't believe what I believe, then you're a piece of shit.
Mhm.
Like, that's the way it comes
That's
across.
true.
Where it's like, me personally, I don't care if we have differing opinions or even different political opinions. I don't care about, like, my best friend John. He has a completely different political view than I do. Like, completely different. But we're still best friends because we don't really, like, that's not what made us friends. You know, like, if I say something and it's politically based, which is very rarely, you know, he doesn't sit there and be like, "Oh, you fucking idiot. Like, how could you believe that?" You know, we just, that's not something that we care to discuss. And if we do, we don't get mad at each other. We don't like stamp our feet and like, "Oh my God, I'm disowning you because you believe in something that I don't." And
Yeah,
I think
that's what's
that the
always.
intolerance of other people is where
Yeah.
a lot of the problem stems from. And when you have someone as young as she was when she was making those comments, it's like, dude, you've barely lived a fucking bit of life. And you're trying to tell me
Yeah.
that you have answers that more mature people don't, or you're discounting other people's life experiences that made them have those
What's
choices
that
that
thing
they
you
made.
said?
Like, get the fuck
Where
out of here.
you
Shut
were
up.
talking with your friend or your brother, and you can have
Mhm.
like disagreements, and it be just fine because that's the mutual respect there kind of thing.
Yes.
I think what people do in that kind of situation is what they should be doing is, hey, we can disagree, but it's not the end of the world. It's just how conversations go. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't. But nowadays, what people do is like they're taking disagreement, like I just don't agree with what you're saying, to I hate you. That's the
Oh,
and it's
of
just
course.
always that I never even today when I was at work and I was just putting stuff away, I was trying to rationalize that. Where does someone get that in their brain? Just because, okay, let's say Warren likes
How many
pineapple on
used condoms
pizza.
did you throw away today?
I fuck you. So so like let's say you guys like pineapple on pizza and I say I don't. People know I don't because it tastes like shit. But that is but I know you
See how
guys
I had
don't
to throw
hate
that in
me.
there?
But I know you guys don't hate me for me saying that.
No, yeah, of
I
course
know
not.
it's just a
Fucking communist.
disagreement. Yeah, you fucking cocksucker. Love you. So it's one of these things where I don't get it. Like somewhere in the water, these kids were drinking tap water to the point where
Well,
they think any disagreement, just anything, is hate. And it's like, what? How do you
well,
go
you
through
gotta think
like
though.
you just did there a second ago? How does someone go through life like that? That's
You gotta think though.
crazy.
These are people that are being raised, the kids that are being raised by people that have always been told that they're the smartest person. They don't surround themselves with people smarter than them, because God forbid you actually be around someone smarter than you. And literally, like in the job force, that's how I did everything. I would gravitate towards the best person. I would learn from them, and then I would apply it to what I do in my job. Same thing with life. Like, at the time, my brother, my older brother was a lot more well off than I was when I was younger and trying to make it on my own. So I gravitated towards him and started learning from him and was able to be like, okay, start a foundation. But when you have such an ego that your shit doesn't stink at all and you can't get past that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're your own god basically, and your way is the only way, that's how people think. And in terms of whether or not you're able to put that aside, I mean, I've never been, I'm sure I have been that arrogant in my life at some point, but maybe as getting older I stopped. I don't know, I had that look in the mirror where I was like, hey, damn dude, your way has failed. Obviously your way didn't work. So there's got to be a better way.
Yeah,
They
Well,
haven't
I agree.
had that. They haven't had that come to the mirror moment where they realize that their fucking way is
Well, it's
ridiculous.
it's the thing you said
it's a
earlier. It's like
tactic
they
too.
grew up basically with no one telling them you're wrong or no one saying, "Hey, this is the other way of thinking." It was just this one way. But yeah, Warren, what do you want to say?
I was just saying that it's a tactic too, demonizing your opponents in order to shame their followers into becoming your followers. And it's a tactic that's been really amplified by the political parties, probably the last 15 years, really bad. And now it's what happens is when you put all that stuff over to all the media, essentially demonizing your opponents. Then you go down, trickle down to your kind of like cult follower of the parties, and each party has their own cult. That cult just reciprocates that talking points and then starts reciprocating that anger to the point where they believe that if you are right, then you are a racist and you want to get rid of Medicare, or they believe that if you're left, you hate America and you hate all of this, and you think dudes deserve to be in female bathrooms and all that shit. So it's just that it's kind of a byproduct of you feed these people disgust or negativity, and then they start turning that into their reality. And it's one of the big problems we have now, because we have way too many people who just plug in to get their personality, to get their opinions, and they become so hardcore to these philosophies that they become hook, line, and sinker, believe it. Like during COVID, the amount of liberals that believed the death rate of COVID was like 25-30%, when actually it was like less than it was like 70% of liberals believed that COVID was deadly to like 35% of the people who caught it. It was really ridiculous on how extreme, like they just took all that stuff in. So a lot of it is just idiots being fed information by their media sources, and then they turn into these just kind of like automatron talking point generators of hate, wanting to go all nuts. So yeah, it's just a lot of that shit.
Also, social media gave a lot of very unimportant people the feeling of importance.
Oh yes, yeah.
So like that.
Well, if every town has an idiot, social media allowed all the idiots from all the town together. Now they feel really important, because now the 100 idiots that never knew each other now can all get together on a Discord and talk all their idiot bullshit. It's the same thing with everything else. It's like all these people that had no real, no real power.
You're being nice. These are the people that you know in life that are absolute nobodies. They made horrible life choices. They're probably bums on the street. They still have their mom pay their iPhone 5 bill. They live on the couch. These are literally the stupidest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. The absolute worst. And then they think because they went on Twitter or made a fucking account that they could just start saying important shit. And it's like, dude, your mom pays your cell phone bill. You're unimportant. You're actually a loser. But for me, I think, just this last past election, you had a bunch of college age kids basically saying like, hey, I didn't go and visit my mom and my dad because they voted for Trump. And it's like, it's your mom and dad. Like, what the, no respect there. Like your mom and dad could straight up like drop dead, given how old some of these parents are. And you didn't go visit them in the holidays when you had the chance because they voted differently from you. Because your mom and dad, you wouldn't be at college without them. I imagine they're paying your fucking tuition being there. It's some college that is,
that's the whole self-importance thing that I was talking about. Like when you're raised in a way that you're the most important thing. In like my children, I always raised them. I was like, look, I have to take care of you, but you also need real world experience. You are not going to be inside all day, left to your own devices. You will be outside. You will be interacting with other human beings and other things, and you're not going to be governed by random people that you meet on the internet. That as soon as that influence started happening, because I had my middle son he didn't really know, he would hear something funny on YouTube or something, and then he would start like using that or say something that he didn't quite understand, and I'd be like, you're done. No more. You're done. You're going to have to find something else, because I don't want my kid to be a product of what the fuck the internet says.
Yeah.
that can go fuck itself right out
Yeah.
of its way. And if they
Yeah.
don't ever have to make their own way in life,
Because you had a daughter, right?
entitled. Yeah, I have a daughter.
You had
Yeah.
three boys and one daughter, right?
Yeah.
Did you
Mhm.
raise the daughter a little bit differently than the boys did?
Yes.
Okay.
My daughter she was raised very differently, but she was raised to respect me and her mother.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know,
Because that shit, I don't play that shit.
Mhm.
I'm not like a mean dad at all.
you're not the whole
Like
this is
I don't.
my kid's my best friend kind of thing.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah, I never
No.
understood that.
Oh, I
That's how
still
you.
did
Yeah.
stuff with my kids, like
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
But no, it was more like I wanted my kids to respect me and my decisions, but I also had to show them that the way that I was doing things at the time, there was fruit to it. Like I had to show them like I could be successful in the way that I did certain things. Like
That's
I wanted
true.
them to work
Yeah.
hard.
Mhm.
You know, and I told them like at the time, whenever, especially my older kids, I wasn't as well off as I am now. So I told them like, look, I'm not going to be able to pay for your college when you get in there. If you want to get to college, you're going to have to work, or you're going to have to be exceptionally good at something, or find something that you want to do, and we'll figure it out from there. But most likely at that point in time, I might not be able to pay for this. You know, now it's a lot different. My youngest son has the benefit of never knowing that life of having to want, but I make him work for everything. He wants a Switch too, right? I told him we're not getting it on release day. It's not happening. I could have, but we're not doing it. You have
Because
to
you have
meet
to buy the
these.
Night Terrorist omnibus first.
Shut up. You have to meet these requirements. You have to get this. You have to get this in school. I want this done in school, and then through the summer, you have to. I told him he's got to learn 3 different things. He's got to learn 3 new things, and we're working on number 1 right now because he's getting ready to be out of school. And July will be number 2, August will be 3, and then September you will get your Switch 2. But you also have to follow through. Also, if you promise something to your kids, or even if I try to not even flippantly say like, oh, we're going to the mall this weekend or whatever. If there's no actual plan to what you say and what you do, then I try my hardest not to say it. Because if they say stuff like, you said we're going here and we're doing this and it doesn't happen, you're breaking trust with them. And like, there's only so many times you can make up some sort of excuse or say, I forgot or whatever. So I try. I'm not saying I do all the time, but I try to follow through on everything that I say and or do. And my kids, we eat together every day. We are going to sit down and have dinner. We are not going to be in front of our TVs eating dinner. Now, if we're sitting together as a family and we go into the living room, that might be something we do.
Your kids still come over for dinner every once in a while? Like,
no, they live in different states.
live in different
so
states?
I'm just saying,
holy shit.
Yeah,
damn.
they're fucking adults, dude. What do you
They only visit for like the holidays, essentially, right?
Sometimes.
They have their own. They want to be away from you. What
no, that's not. What do you mean they want to be away from me? They were with me for 18 fucking years, dude. And they
you're
fucking
like,
have
you're
their
getting
own
out
lives.
right now. He kicked them out, guys.
Dude, he prepared them to leave the nest. Come on, MSK. That's a
They
natural
left the
thing.
nest. That's how it works.
But Warren's dog isn't leaving the nest. That's
my
what
son, my oldest son, you know, he's
not
in a
18 yet.
relationship right now that he's only been in for like a year and a half. So like, you know, I'm sure he wants to please her and go to their parents' house for Christmas. Like, he can always come back here. He's always welcome here.
Yeah,
you know, my middle son always comes back for everything. He comes back for all the holidays, all that stuff. My daughter, she does whatever she wants to, but my daughter is very much like me. She don't take no shit from anybody. So like, if she says, "Hey, Dad, I'm coming back," I'm like, "All right, cool." But like, I try to be fair. Anyway, so when I try to be as fair as possible, but I also, like I said, it has to be within limitations. Like I always tell them, you know, you could do whatever you put your mind to, right? But I never wanted to say you could do anything in the world. You could do all of this, because then you have like stupid kids believe in stupid shit. You know, like where I'm not saying like, oh, you can't do this, you're dumb, you're this. No, it's like if my kid, you know, says I want to, you know, be a fucking rabbit, I'm like, that's fucking dumb. You know, like that's fucking
Rabbit
stupid.
lives matter.
Or if like my kid, you know, like at whatever age is like, you know, Santa Claus, I'm like, listen, dude, you really believe that there's a fucking fat dude bringing you presents? Fuck that. I worked my ass off to buy you fucking 4 kids presents. I'm fucking Santa Claus. That's what it is. Me and your mother are Santa Claus. Like, that's how things go. But I think I've told you this story, dude. Like, my little one, I went to his Christmas party this past year. And he's 7, dude. And he literally walked right. He saw me, and his eyes got real big. He went, and he ran right over to me. And this is his exact words. I will never forget this. He said, "Dad, don't tell these kids that there's no Santa Claus. I don't want you to crush their dreams." And I was like, I looked at him, and I was just like, all right, dude. I wasn't even gonna say anything, but sure. He says some wacky shit like that.
That is also like crazy too, how they get kids to believe in Santa Claus when like kids should be celebrating their parents being able to get them those gifts and shit like that.
I go by the Bill Hicks, the comedian. Like, if you're gonna make some shit up, make some wacky shit up. He's like Easter. He's like, why is it? He's like, why not like goldfish brought Lincoln Logs to my sock drawer? And he's like, he does this whole story, right? And then at the end, he's like, "Hey, mommy, look, there's Lincoln Logs in me sock drawer." And she's like, "And that's the story of Jesus." That shit's funny.
Holy fucking shit, dude. God.
Oh fuck.
God, man. It's like, what? Could you imagine like being in a hood, like the ghetto, and like a little black kid thinks, "Hey, mommy, does Santa Claus exist?" And the mom just says no N-word. That motherfucker don't exist. Just that's how the ghetto kids got it. Your kids got it. Hey, you know, he's not real. He doesn't exist. He's imaginary.
Yeah, we did. My oldest son never believed. I don't know why. We never said there wasn't to him. He just, I don't know what it was, but my second son and my daughter did, and my littlest guy, he did until like he kind of like caught us doing stuff, and he was just like, "What the fuck? Really? This is what Christmas is? God damn it!" Like, he was more like pissed about it.
Did you homeschool the kids, or you just let them go to
No. They definitely, okay. So if you live in a good school district, I definitely think going to school is a big part of learning how to interact with people and stuff. Yeah. And thankfully, I know this is going to sound bad, but thankfully I lived in a place where kids still had like some sort of bad streak in them. So I've had to deal with like, you know, hey, this is what a bully is, and this not bullying of today where someone didn't like your shoes. Oh my god. No, like this kid punched my kid in the face.
I always would say that too.
So I had to tell him, like, look, if someone punches you in the face, you fucking punch them back in the face. You are fully a lot. And I had to sit down with the teacher because my kid got into a fight, and they were like, your son, he punched Mark in the face. And I said, well, what happened? Well, they started fighting. I was like, well, good. Fuck Mark. He's a cock. Fuck him. He's stupid.
That's the same thing that V said when his kid got into trouble. And V even said, Macho Paisano, for them who doesn't know what that is, who he was. He said if his kid beat up the other kid, he wouldn't even get in trouble when he came home. He would get him something. Fuck.
Like, if it was him who started it, yeah, I'd be like, dude, what was going on that you decided that this need? But thankfully, most of my kids have been pretty, you know, my middle son was the only one who had like a temper, you know, like my son David. If I brought David down here, dude, he's like the weirdliest, happiest kid I've ever met. I don't know a day where that kid has been like disappointed in life. That kid wakes up every day and he must have theme music going on, because every morning he wakes up and he's like, I'm ready for life. Yes.
And kids should, the reason why I would say to go to school, I mean, I know there's some horror stories out there, but your kid, you can homeschool them. And I agree, homeschooling them is not the worst idea nowadays. But if you choose to homeschool your kid's going to be potentially a socially retarded weirdo. Just saying, not interacting with people.
It depends on how much outer interaction they have. And I encouraged my kids to play sports. you
Yeah.
know, to
MSK?
learn things like that. Yeah.
Were you homeschooled, MSK?
No, I wasn't a socially retarded weirdo.
Okay, so you could still be that, even though you're.
MSK, you are the poster child for against what you just said.
Yes, that is true. But I think, like, you know, a kid, or a girl and a boy can only grow so much interacting with just their siblings. You know, it can
No,
only get so
right.
much interaction. So I think if you interact with all those different kids, come on, was your kid having a problem with a black bully by any chance?
What's that?
Was the bully of your son black?
No. We had one a situation when I was like a little bit off the rails with my oldest son, and it was not good. If I told you that story,
How off the rails were
you
you?
would. Okay, so I was a little bit drugged out at the time, and
Oh no!
I went to the school and waited for the kid and his dad, and I jacked that dude up like bad
You're not
on
beating
school
a white
property.
guy on drugs. Crazy allegations.
On school property with the fucking roll of quarters in my hand. I'm not lying. It's terrible.
Oh, I
And it was
believe you.
horrible. And my kid was terrified. He had never seen me like that. But the kid beat him up pretty bad, like for no reason. Yeah.
The idea of Santa Claus is actually quite terrifying if you think about it. A motherfucker that can slip past all security systems, like Ring devices. Yeah.
And he watches you while you're sleeping, just watching
Yeah.
you. Do something
Yes.
wrong, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this motherfucker could be like Diddy or some shit, or like R. Kelly. So
Yeah. That was like one of the few times my wife was pissed at me. Because the police were involved and all this other shit. Yeah, it was bad.
has she always been working through a relationship, or was that a recent thing?
So whenever we first got together, she used to travel and groom dogs for dog shows. Like she would go to like different places and groom, like do the dog hair and nails for certain dog shows and shit like that. And then she came to me and said, you know, like she made a ton of money, and it was hard, man, because at that time I wasn't really like, you know, financially stable. I was working whatever, you know, minimum wage job to more than that. And she came to me and said, look, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I said, all right, we'll make it work. And we did. She went down to like 2 days a week, and that's how much money she was getting paid. She was making more than me at 2 days a week than I
Crazy,
was
man. But
at
I
the
don't
time.
like, people don't think like when you have kids, moms want to be home with the kids and nurture them. That's just a natural instinct they have. So less time at work would make sense. Like when women think being a housewife now is some sort of bad thing, and it's like, what? That's how you were raised. What? No, God, whoever raised these girls these days for crackhead.
I mean, that's the other thing too. That's being told that you're not going to be fulfilled, because a lot of, you know, bad marriages, you ever notice that usually comes from like bad marriages that the wife stays in, or they stay together, and like the mom is not fulfilled, and it's like they beat that into their daughter, you know, don't end up like me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
stuff like
Your
that.
dad
But
isn't shit. Yeah, stuff like that.
yeah,
Yep.
stuff like that, where, you know, don't get me wrong, me and my wife have fought, and we've tried to never do that in front of the children, but for the most part, like, I try to show them that like I respect her, like, and she respects me. We've tried. I'm not saying it's, you know, after you've been together for 26 now, 27 years,
Been
like
together since like what, 1998 or some shit.
90. Yeah, it was the end of 98.
God, I was 4 years old then. Holy fuck. God
So
damn.
like, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like we've had many ups and downs, but for the past about 10 years, it's been, you know, pretty good.
That's awesome. Glad things worked out. And I'll always say this: women, you know, doing your motherly duties is what makes you happy. You know, I imagine.
Well, I mean,
her
not all of
having-
them, but like I think most
Yeah.
of them.
I imagine like being at home and not having the workload on her allowed her to be a better mom. You know.
I think she just wanted that. Like that was something that she wanted. So
Yeah.
like if my wife comes to me and tells me today, like, hey, I want to go back to work, well, she's gonna go back to work if
Yeah.
that's what she wants, you know. But at that time, she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That's what she wanted to do. So I was like, fuck. I mean, it scared me because like how much more like back then, you know, like making $60,000 a year back then compared to now, even though that's
Yeah.
still half decent. Back then, though, that was like me, her, and one child. We could, you know,
60,000 back then could get you decently far, but
yeah,
60,000
you know,
now is essentially like 30,000 now, given how much things have changed. Like bills have, woo,
yeah, it's
bills have
even
definitely
less,
changed.
to be honest. Like if you look
Yeah.
at like if you're, you know, have a mortgage and you're,
This
you know, you
last
don't
guy's had
own.
a perm in his hair. He was looking a lot different back then. You
No, I
know?
didn't. I had really long hair. I'll show you pictures. I had like super long hair.
I forgot you were into death metal. So yeah, that would
I
probably
had
be the
like
style back
really,
then.
really long hair, and it was black. And I had like this black goatee, and I looked stupid as fuck.
You're like you just were Lobo. That's who you were.
I was Lobo.
Well, he's cooler and funnier.
He was
So.
much cooler than I am.
All right,
But
so we're gonna
I'm
wrap it
going
up
to
here.
bed. I'm
Yeah, we're
going
gonna
to
wrap it up
bed.
here in a little bit. We'll start with Lunchbox Warren. You got anything planned coming up you would like to let the audience know about?
One of these days I'm going to try to stream, but who knows if I'll actually ever do it.
Oh no! Damn it!
Warren,
but-
I'll stream with you.
I'd
show up for that.
I need to do a live draw stream, and I'm still trying to get myself into being able to do it, but pretty soon. Oh,
Warren, you've let me down as your Sith master. Oh my
Yeah.
god. DK, great show. Yeah, man, it was great having you here, dude. Gray, you got anything coming up you would like to let the audience know about? You want to let them know how much money you've been making from this show, which has been millions of dollars?
From this show, it has been nothing but a drain on me financially and, you know, kind of mentally too. Emotionally a bit, but you know, mainly it's having to do with like the late night text from MSK crying about, you know, life. But you know, other than that, things are going good. If you just can't get enough of me, check out The Thinkers tomorrow on YouTube at That Darn Kidda. It's a group of people from like 4 different countries who get together, disagree about everything. We can usually leave amicably, but yeah, maybe not the last few weeks. But yeah, tomorrow we happen to be talking about Disney remakes, specifically Lilo and Stitch. So if you didn't get enough of that scintillating talk here, you know, get like 4 different countries that all disagree about it. So yeah, Thursday nights on YouTube at That Darn Kidda. That's all I got going on.
I watched. I can't remember which one I watched. It was the one that we talked about a while ago when you told me to watch. And I watched, and it was fun. It was.
Did he tell you about it was the pancake one he told you about?
No.
Oh, God.
I can't remember.
That was the ultimate debate: pancakes versus waffles.
Waffle. I'm just
that one
waffle.
got bloody.
That's just me.
Oh yeah.
What if you do like a waffle sandwich, which I've done, 2 waffles with a pancake in the middle.
Ooh.
With whipped cream.
Where do you fall on McGriddle? Like it's kind of in like a shape, but then it's also kind of a pancake. I don't know what it is. It's the hybrid.
I've never eaten one.
You are lucky, because once you do, you can never be the same.
Well, I can't.
It changes your life
because of the Crohn's disease, the sausage in it. So like that'll kill me. But I would like to not actually kill, but my stomach. I would be on the porcelain throne.
It's not worth it, but it is kind of an engineering, whatever you want to call it, marvel.
Engineering
They
marvel.
got like these crystals of like syrup to somehow magically melt in there, and it's like the perfect hybrid between a waffle and a pancake. Anyway, it shouldn't be as good as it is. Damn those food scientists.
Oh God, man, you guys are insane. But yes, congratulations to Grey Poupée. He has the most appearances on the MSK show. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Also the most disguises.
That's true. We don't really have series regulars here. I think the only series regular is like fucking. I don't have them. You guys are mostly like recurring characters than anything. I can't promote you guys. You know, I got to pay you guys more money. Actually, you know.
Dude, I've been in the last 3 weeks. I've been on your show like 12 times.
And you know how many episode appearances you have now? 19.
Awesome. There has to be more than 19.
We'll check it out right now before we go. One quick thing.
It feels like we're on like episode 245 or something like that.
Yeah, but he came on like episode, I think it's like 124.
It feels like it's longer.
Okay, you're tied with Savage Dad now at 19.
It just feels more like that. How does it? It says 2025. I thought I was started in 24.
These things are not properly always updated.
Yeah, who knows who could have possibly done this? But interesting.
I can't do this. I don't even look at this page. We have a
Yeah, because
quality
look at
show.
it. You only have 206 appearances on your show.
Yeah, I've been on every show, literally every single one.
There are at least 39 good episodes. They happen to be the ones that MSK is not on, but you know.
All right, so like
obviously, I think I've been on 28 shows.
Yeah, you have to have more. There's no way. Yeah. So you've officially passed Tiny and Theo and Bob trailing there. He'll get there eventually to you guys. He's one Monday a month, like one Monday out of the week for the so he's essentially will get 4 episodes a month.
Because for the first 3 months that I was doing this, it was Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah, that's probably where the double.
So
that's probably where you had more
like
appearances.
8 times 3. That's 24 episodes just in the 3 months and then I stopped.
Yeah,
after
he was like,
3
too
months.
much MSK is killing me, and I was like, no, you can never have too much of me. I'm a Riz master.
Anyway, I'm going to bed.
So yeah, Laps, anything you got planned coming up? You'd like to let the audience know about?
The same thing. I'm working on combining the Batman Hush 1 and 2. Batman Hush 2 issues 1 and 2 together. Trying to find a cohesive way to edit them together because I did them separately, but I think it would work better as a single episode.
That's true. All right. For those of you guys who know me,
and I'm gonna stream. I am gonna stream this weekend.
I'll have to believe it when I see it.
Well, I've been streaming Doom.
Oh,
Not on the
right.
Laps Comic Fan channel. I've been streaming Doom on my other.
You have your gaming channel, yeah.
But like that's like honestly the main reason why it was made because I was in that hockey league for years. And so I just started streaming Doom, and it's funny because I get random ass. They'll be like, "Who the fuck are you? Why do you have one guy in your stream?" It's fantastic.
Oh, well, as you guys know, for me, later on tonight, after I get some rest and relax for a little bit, gotta finish editing some content, I will be doing a league stream. Tomorrow, me and Mr. Blanks are doing the Cloud9 podcast. We'll talk about the NBA 2025, playoffs for a little bit. We're talking
How
about
was
league.
the gym?
Oh, I did shoulders yesterday.
You did. Jim
good.
rubbed them shoulders out, didn't he?
No. I'm still figuring out how many days I want to go back. I'm thinking about going back like 3 days a week or 2 days a week. I at least want to do it minimum 2 days a week at least.
With Jim,
you're focusing on single muscle groups. So just
I'm
just
just trying to basically
take MSK.
So like I'm just basically trying to get in the routine of doing it consistently. Like at the very minimum 2 days a week. I'm trying to max it out at 3, but I'm just going whenever I can, So I worked out really hard when I first came back, so my body had to take a little bit of a break. So I went back yesterday and I did shoulders. So I'm gonna do probably.
Jim got you really sweaty.
You guys are fucking weird.
Work out your shoulders in the sauna somehow?
Oh god. Ooh. Oh god. Oh literal fucking hell. All right, so
skiing workout.
We got the Cloud9 podcast tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. PST. Me and Lunchbox Warren might do the show afterwards, but it just depends on how tired I am from the other show. If the other show is too long, then we'll just have our show Friday. So
look at that last comment there, MSK.
I'm not. I was intentionally ignoring
Jim
it.
Jim rewarded MSK with that soda he talked about. This relationship is built on more than just love.
No, it's built on just gay sex.
Sugary carbonated drinks.
Sugary carbonated cock right up the ass. That's where it's going. No, I'm joking. I don't know a guy named Jim.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Jim.
If me and Lunchbox Warren don't have our show for Thursdays, we're gonna keep that one on the back burner, but it's gonna happen when I'm not super tired on after the previous show. We will have our show Friday. That is always happening. So essentially, the shows are Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, obviously Fridays. Then Thursdays that maybe if I'm not too tired, we'll have it. Saturday, the Cloud9 podcast, that's the newest day for that second day for that show. So that'll happen around 7 p.m., 7:30 PST. If there's enough to talk about. If there's just the one day and there's enough to go over, then that's fine. But there's going to be more right now because the season's still going for League. Sunday, I'm essentially just going to do a game stream. That's what I'll be doing for Sunday, just game stream when I get home. I'm really tired after work on Sunday. Like, I'm getting fisted in the ass at work on Sunday.
Jim's got big hands.
No,
Literally.
his name is Felipe. Felipe, a short Filipino dude that's black, giving me sodas.
Short Filipino dude that's black fisting you and giving you sodas. All right.
Allegedly
your
in
reward
Minecraft.
for being fisted is sodas.
No. I've
his
had sex
reward.
with.
It's the only cold thing they could find.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Well,
Well, you heard earlier how he's against tap water, so it kind of makes sense.
No. Tomorrow, I got that girl's number, so I forgot.
Oh, that girl doesn't exist.
I have to
Is
text
Jim
her to see if we're still
role-playing?
gonna hang out. I have to text her to see if we're still gonna hang out Thursday. I don't know if she's gonna reply back, but if she doesn't, then
You met a girl at gym?
No, I got a girl's number, and I'm
And
gonna.
this is what he said. He got a girl's number, and they're supposedly going to work out together.
I asked her, do you want to go to the gym together?
The gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a Jim with a wig.
Do you want to go to gym?
So this is what happened. Essentially,
Jim.
I walked up to her and I was like, "We should go to the gym together." She's like, "We should lock in." I'm like, "Oh, this is exactly the moment that I've been waiting for." And I was like, "Hey, what's your
No,
number?"
she actually said, "I'm going to lock you in." Run.
She said, "We have to lock in," and I'm like, "Sure." And I'm like, "Yes, want to go to the gym together?" She was like, "Yeah." I got her number. She asked via TikTok. I'm like, "No, TikTok's for stupid e-thoughts." I literally said that exactly. So probably,
MSK walks up to the gym and he's like, "Gime." And then Jim goes, "Yeah, get back over here.
So
I'm not
she
done.
said she told me the day she's free.
You're not allowed
and
to leave past my elbow."
She told me the day she was free, and I said, "Hey, we can make something happen on Thursday. I'll just have to message her just a reminder." But if she doesn't want to do it, it's whatever. I don't care. I can get another girl because I have the endless possibilities of getting girls, given how rich and good looking and charismatic I am. Actually, does
you
she
walk up to
know
a
you
girl-
have
That's
her
gonna be on the
number?
stream on
Yeah, that's a
live.
good question from Walter.
Yeah, it is a
Yes.
good one.
Yes.
Okay. So the story is you walked up to
Yes.
some girl and you're like, "You look like you need to exercise." And then you got her digits somehow?
No, I said we should go to the gym.
No, she was on the treadmill in front of his, and then he just imagined talking to her while he was staring at her.
Like those
During-
fucking comedy
while they were
movies where the
treadmill.
guys are imagining something happening and they're just
You ever-
staring at
you
you
ever-
deadlocked.
You ever see that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Rickety Cricket goes into the bathroom, take the hit of meth, and has that vision where all his shit starts working out? He looks up, MSK looks up, and he's like, "Shit, I'm still in the bathroom. Fuck."
I have a feeling Chris Hansen is going to be the next person. To No.
Just
I-
have a
literally-
seat over here, sir. Take your hands out of your pocket.
She had
Have a
just
seat
got
over
off.
here.
That's the perfect comment.
Okay. She
That's it.
literally just got off.
We're done.
Nothing sexual there. She just got
We're
off.
done.
Okay. And
Chris
then
Hansen,
I just
we're
walked
good.
up to her, rizzed her up, because that's what I do. I'm the Riz master, obviously.
Did you tell
didn't have
her that you were the Riz Master?
I said I'm the Riz master. She was like, "What is that?"
Oh,
I was like,
that
"Fucking
definitely.
hell."
That's
You know what's crazy?
You said that and numbers were just exploding out of her.
No. What happened when I was talking to her?
Then
that
everyone
threw me off.
clapped.
Literally, I shit you not, this happened. We're talking, we're sitting down on this like little bench or whatever, this 2-person one. I'm talking to her about something. She just burps straight at me. I'm like,
That
that's
part's
disgusting.
believable.
Was this the bench in front of her school?
I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response, R. Kelly. But so what I'm saying is, like, I asked her if you want to go to the gym. She said yes. I got her number. Even if we don't go to the gym together, I don't know what we would do. We just hang out and Netflix
Dude,
and
you
chill,
should
maybe.
tell
I
her
don't
you
know.
want to go to the gym and then you just go in your backyard and have like a dumbbell out there.
And the Rocky music playing.
But then
Yeah.
again, I have to get to that point. If she says, "Hey, we're hanging out today," she could just say no and lie about it. But you know,
Dude, she probably doesn't even remember that you exist.
Well, she probably doesn't exist, so it's fine.
Oh, damn.
I think it'd be hard to forget him if he sat on a bench next to you. You know that feeling of fear is unforgettable.
Why am I getting roasted for basically rizzing up women? I don't get it, actually.
But I mean, like, someone agreeing to go work out, is that really like, you think like someone saying yes to working out is automatically like, you know, the freaking
You're already
garage door
planning
opener
wedding-
to her vagina.
Yeah, you're already planning wedding colors. It's like,
No, I'm
calm
not
down.
like that. I'm not a simp. I'm not a loser, obviously.
No, he's
No.
already got his wedding picked out.
No. No, this girl is obviously, she's like 22. She goes
Super
to college.
hot, dude. Super hot.
Wait.
All right.
She's going to higher education, you said?
This is a community college. I wouldn't,
I mean, still, that's levels above you, sir.
I have
just
street
saying, like-
intelligence. I have Spider-Man streets of smart.
You've kind of like street community college. It's not the same thing.
Are you saying I was
Yeah.
in the ghetto?
You also said that you were the dumbest person today.
But that was a different MSK. That was Earth 2 MSK.
So were you
Oh.
bringing her DoorDash to school, and that's how you guys started talking? Do you do the lawns at the community college? Like, why were you at the community college?
What in the world are you? What goes through your mind,
He's
man?
passing out flyers for Jim.
It's a good question.
And-
Why were you
I
there?
talked to her.
No, she just got off work, and I was
Free
happening to
first
go in
month
there.
gym
Yeah,
memberships.
Oh, Gray has a point here. Go ahead.
Shit.
Say, I don't think he heard you.
Fucking hell! What do you need, Gray?
Well, it was Lunchbox's point, but
Oh.
why were you there?
She got
At the
off
community
work,
college.
and I went into.
Yeah,
the,
why were you there?
I was.
You've now
working
answered
in
like 3 times why she
the-
was
We work
there.
in the same building.
Okay.
At the community
okay.
college?
What magic building is this that employs normal people and MSK? What magical fake fairyland building is this?
What?
Made of
That's some-
candy canes, wishes, and rainbows.
It's not some fucking castle from Candyland. It's a real building.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
believe you, sir.
Okay, so she got
Made
off,
of
and I went in
bricks
there.
and mortar and everything.
She got off work, and I went in there and I rizzed her up, and that's just what I do because I'm the top G. That's how it works.
I thought you were on a park bench.
Oh
Yeah.
my! No, we were sitting next to each other in this kind of little bench, this chairs we have at work.
Bench chairs.
It's like those things
Yeah,
that
before it
Starbucks
was
has.
a bench, now it's
know
these
those-
little
It's like these
chairs.
circle chairs
First,
that
it was,
Starbucks
dude.
has.
First, you were outside on a
Circle
bench,
bench?
waiting for a bus for Jenny while
Outside.
telling
Okay, hey,
your
that's
life
never
story.
happened. Hey,
And then you offered her chocolate, but
is
you
this
were
your
like,
fan?
yeah,
Yeah, I walked up to a girl and I was like, "Hey,
And
you
then
want
a
to try out my
feather
chocolatey
came down.
BBC?"
you know,
Like-
and you were telling her all these things, how you affected all these moments in time.
And that you can
And-
run real good
Yeah, and then mama.
ever since you lost
said-
your special legs.
But you lost to
Before
go
you
to
hit my
the gym
Mark Wade?
today.
What the fuck?
Lieutenant Diane, magic legs.
Who fucking wrote that fan fiction in your brain?
That's
Mark
who he
Wade?
is.
He would
It's
be more.
Lieutenant Jim.
No, Mark Wade wrote that. Fuck
I
you.
think MSK would be more Sling Blade than Forrest Gump. But
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah,
Literally-
French fried taters.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, maybe we might hang out because she might
Little
say she
Caesars.
might cancel. I don't know,
Hard
honestly.
bitch.
I really don't know.
Mm.
You want to go to the
like-
gym with me? Mhm.
Mhm.
I know a man
Also,
named
never forget the
Jim.
parody that Family Guy did of
Mm.
Back to the Future, where they're in the fucking machine or whatever, and then the scientist guy or whatever, he's like, "Hey, Morty, your daughter marries a black man."
Yeah, we get it. You're trying to get away from this whole Jim possible girl thing that you're going for
Possible
here.
girl thing. We know what's gonna happen. I mean, she might say no. She
On
might
the
stand
next.
me up.
They're bringing back America's Most Wanted just for this.
That just scared the fuck out of me as a kid. I'm good. No, I mean,
Yeah,
she might stand
End
me
up
up.
on an
I don't
Amber
know.
Alert.
Well, you
Like-
have to make contact with her first.
No, she has my number. We have each other's
Yeah,
numbers.
but do you think she's actually going to call you?
No.
That's
Well,
why
she
you
might.
call her.
I'm the top G around here.
Do you have
She
her
should Call
number?
me. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Then call it.
Yeah, that's kind of for.
Okay,
Wait,
so
when
then
did-
why are you bringing any of this up?
I was trying to just
when-
entertain you guys. What the
When
fuck?
did you get her number? When did you get the number?
Last Sunday.
Yeah, but like if you
Yeah,
got
it's
her
okay to
number,
call her.
isn't that with expectation of her thinking he's going to call me?
Like I could, but who calls nowadays? You just text. It just.
Well, then text
Fine.
her.
Right.
Yeah, but that's for losers.
Who you know who texts like and doesn't talk to
Normal
people?
human beings.
No, those fucking retards that you keep talking about that fucking have stupid ass thoughts and fucking because you can't have a conversation with an actual person. You're like,
I was retired.
how
keep in mind,
about we go to the gym? Does
I
that
was-
sound good?
I was retired from women,
Oh, you're coming out of retirement?
hypothetically speaking.
Is it because of the gym?
If
Your tea
she-
got up?
If she stands me up tomorrow, I'm retired again.
How do you know
Yeah.
it's tomorrow if you haven't
Yeah,
made
you
any
haven't even-
plans?
You
No,
haven't talked
we-
to her.
She gave me her. I said, "What days are you free?" She said Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
But but you still have to. Do
You
you
have
know
to
how
make
interactions
the-
work with like if I met someone just saying, right, and they said, "Hey, I'm free on these days," right, and then we exchange numbers, I'm not automatically assuming that they're calling me on that first day that they're free.
That's the joke there. I know she's not calling me because
Are you gonna call her tomorrow?
No, I'll probably just text her, be like, "Hey, are we still hanging out today?"
You're gonna call. It's gonna be some dude like MSK Jim. Like it's gonna be like, or it's gonna be like Los Angeles Police Department.
Shit! Oh shit! Are you saying because police because I'm black? And they're always committing crimes.
No, just because you're crazy.
I didn't do anything but just get a girl's number, and you guys assumed she was a fake person that didn't exist, and I
Mhm.
DoorDashed
No.
her food.
We just assume fake story.
There you go.
Yeah.
All of this for an outro. Emergency stream tomorrow. We need to help this man. I should probably ask tonight. I should probably text tonight, but
But you
I
have
might.
to like make a
Or-
real plan with her, like with times and stuff.
Yeah,
not just
that's
be
what
like,
you need to like say.
oh, I'm
Hey,
free
I know-
Thursdays,
yeah.
and then just
I haven't did
expect
that-
her to show
Dude,
up at the gym.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree. It's just I haven't did this in a while. I've been like retired for like God knows my entire life. But
dude, MSK. Here's the thing.
Come
Here's the
on.
thing. The worst she can say is no.
awesome.
Who
I'll go to a
cares?
different girl.
Well,
Have
who
you
cares?
texted her?
Well,
MSK
yeah.
is heard worse than no.
Have you texted her a picture of your dick? Because a lot of people do that nowadays. I think
Yeah,
that
I
don't
have 9
use that as the
Okay.
If
opener.
I ever did that, she would message me constantly to blow
Have
me.
you talked to this person since your original fake conversation?
I love how I just threw that in there. I love how I just threw that in there casually. No, we haven't messaged at all since.
So
then.
how do you think that? Why are you gonna say if she stands you up tomorrow? How could there be a stand up if there's no plan for an up?
Because she had said we can do this on Sunday.
but you have to
But you
confirm
said
it.
that. All right.
We did. Oh
This
my
is
god.
This is
Okay.
too much. Good night.
How about you
everybody.
text
All right,
her
we're-
your IMDb link, and then you can just
So
let
Yeah,
it go
she
from
sure.
there.
knows that you
Sure, how
followed
many
her home.
awesome people that are on your show?
Yes, the quality of this show will make her just get turned on by my voice so hard, and she'll just want to sleep with me. Obviously.
Right.
I mean, Walter has another killer idea of the emergency stream tomorrow. We can live stream the texting session. You can brainstorm a
dude.
chat.
You should do that.
Yeah, you
All
can
right,
call
so-
her and put her on speakerphone. We can all listen.
I would rather not. You guys are completely socially retarded weirdos, honestly.
I'm married and have
No.
children,
Me too.
and
Allegedly.
I get through
I
every
think
day.
the only
life pretty
single
good.
guys here are me and Gray. Sorry, me and Warren.
I'm very alone.
Me
Yeah, but
too.
Here's the difference.
I have crusty socks. Don't worry, man.
Warren, you have a kid, right?
No,
No,
oh, those are my.
You've got a
nephews.
dog.
nephews. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought I saw a kid once.
Yeah, that was
So-
my nephew. They live upstairs.
Better
I have
yet,
my
if she
Georgia.
shows up, the best way to impress her would be to live stream it. Title it "One Black Man Catches a Woman." That's how you go to jail. That's how you literally go to jail. And I can't go to jail. I'm pretty. They'll butt grate me. So So, yep. Glad you guys enjoyed this episode of the MSK Show. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show, and we will see you guys later. Have a great night, buddy. Peace.